We're keeping it. We were struggling doing it in QuickBooks.
How are you going to do tips?
GoPayment does a pretty good job. So QuickBooks little app for the card reader does a pretty good job.
Okay, so
we
you
were
can add the
struggling doing
tip.
it inside of QuickBooks.
You mean the actual? So you're going to manually have to bring it in.
Correct. Well, it's semi-automated.
You got to receive the payment.
Right.
Yeah.
What company are you?
Here I volunteer.
Oh.
I'm going to be
Oh,
taking
okay.
this for the show.
Oh, okay.
Do some calls for the end.
Oh.
I'm not saying it.
Oh, all right.
Corporate.
Crack the whip on Drew.
He's the one that flew that crazy basketball player into North Korea a few weeks ago.
That wasn't me.
That wasn't you? See that real quick landing?
No. You talked with a fat kid?
I wonder who did fly him in. I mean, I guess they fly into China.
No,
And then China.
Remember the guy that just got that killed over there? He flew in something.
Oh, that was a medevac. I mean, of course.
No. How he got in there?
From China.
Is that where he got him?
Yeah, he got it from China. Him and the kids were in China, his fellow students, and then they took a tour from China into Korea.
That's where he stole the poster.
And that's where apparently he stole the poster.
What the hell's wrong with him?
Death sentence.
So what?
Beat him to death. No, he killed him.
Delivering generic
He was here, second day back from the medevac.
Well, he was brain dead when they shipped him back.
Oh, was he?
Oh, he was on a gurney.
We talked about the guy in Korea.
Yeah, he was
Yeah.
brain dead.
North Korea.
Yeah,
I think the photo
Those are-
showed that, but that was an older photo.
That was a year ago. He was going through the trial.
Photo.
Yeah, they
But
put him on
all-
a gurney.
All the photos had him like say, I thought the same thing. But,
That was all from a year ago, the trial. No, I don't think we fly into there. You got to fly into China, and then China Air flies into North
And why
Korea.
did he go to North Korea?
Well, in China, they were advertising to students, you need to check out North Korea while you're
Oh.
here. You can't fly there directly. It was basically a tourist, and it was too good to be true.
And he stole something?
They say he stole a poster in the airport, like a propaganda. What was it? A military poster? Some poster. And they came on the plane. They were getting ready to taxi and go back. They came on the plane and grabbed him. He was this close to being out of Dodge, man. Horrible story.
Based on your credit, we give you funds based on your accounts receivable. Go buy
They figured he was brain dead for what,
employees, or
3,
use
4
the
months?
working funds to bet on jobs you never thought you could go after. With Amerifactors,
Remember that kid that,
no more waiting for your customers to pay. We give you
He's doing something in Singapore and he got
Like lashes.
Fund your business today.
I remember that being like a national story.
It was huge because he was
worldwide story. But there were so many people saying he should be having like that beaten just for.
It's in public too.
Yeah, and that's cool. I mean, that punishment was severe.
But I'll tell you what. Let me ask you something. Are you going to shoplift over there? Hell no.
Oh, get your hand cut off.
Yeah, that's exactly right. You steal, they'll cut off your hand or fix it. I bet their crime rate is nil.
Well, it is. It's very low.
The Troubleshooter.
Hello, Top. Don't waste money. Don't waste money with design build and architects and all that. I mean, you can hire an architect if you want, but I mean, don't waste money with people going out and sourcing material and doing all that stuff. If they build that into the price, you always pay for that. Instead, why don't you get some, you have a footprint in your bathroom. Your bathroom's not going to change. You're not going to change many walls, maybe an interior partition, maybe a closet. But get an idea of what you want. Get pictures and other bathrooms, and then go out and buy stuff, or at least find out what you need to buy. And you can call them and say, hey, I have this in mind. What do I need? They'll let you do all that legwork using their wholesale account to buy all the stuff you need. Think about that. So they'll say, hey, you need some base cabinets, you need these, you need this, you need this. How about this hardware package? Go on out. Here's some suppliers, or find your own. Here's our wholesale account. You literally are going to save, Cheryl, what? 40% off the top, truly?
Up to 40%, yes, for sure. Yeah.
Now, I don't know if you've ever used buy and build, but they're already cheap. I mean, have you ever used them at all? You know, they're on my referral list, and it's okay if you haven't, because you don't go out and buy the stuff anyway. You have consumers buy mostly their own stuff. I'll bet you many of them, or some of them, have gone there. You get incredible buys there.
Well, that's the thing, Tom. We like for our customers to be able to go anywhere they want
Yeah.
to buy whatever they want.
Yeah.
We do provide them with a list of our vendors
Good.
that we partner with, and that's where they can get a discount.
Okay.
But there are other avenues
Sure,
to get discounts.
sure. So when you go to their vendors, you pick out what you want, but you make suggestions what they need, the size of cabinets and stuff, different things.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
We'll give them measurements of, you know, how much tile they need.
So they go out and get all that stuff. Then they say, okay, all about bathrooms. We're done. And then you guys just come in and do it.
That's right.
And you never leave the job until it's done.
That's correct.
You know, I don't like people who, what I call shuttle jobs. They shuffle, they juggle. They have a guy here for a couple hours, then over there for a couple hours, then here, then there, blah, blah, blah. It's terrible. I love that idea of getting on the job, getting it done, moving on. I love that idea.
She's saying typically 4 to 6 weeks your bathroom's done.
And we're talking about, they're not. When I say high end, does that bother you?
No, that's what we do. That's what we pride ourselves in doing, is providing high-end
Doesn't necessarily mean expensive. It is high-end, though. I mean, you're not going to get... If you're doing a fix and flip, they probably shouldn't call you.
That's correct.
Yeah. I mean, let's just say what it is.
Yeah.
And then, you know, geographically, they want to work Bellevue South. They want to work the South area. I like a company that knows how to define themselves, because too many companies spread themselves too thin. So Bellevue South, Highlands Ranch, Greenwood Village, you know,
Castle Rock,
Cherry Hills, Castle Rise, Castle Pines, all of this south. Okay. Anyway, give us a call if you have any questions at all on bathrooms, whether you're in that area or not, if you have any questions. Meanwhile, Ursula's been waiting the other day, and I didn't get to her. She wants to talk about somebody scamming her about gold. Ursula, what's happening?
Hello, Tom.
Hi.
Good morning.
What's going on?
I don't think I was scammed. I don't think they did anything wrong legally. I contacted Capital Gold in 2013. I wanted information about putting my IRA into gold. Information. And that very same day, I mean, he was best salesman ever. I was talked into putting all of my money, which was $123,000, into gold.
What was the price? What was the price you were quoted?
My IRA was $123,000.
No, I'm talking about the gold price.
Oh, I didn't even know. He just said I have to put it all in gold.
You didn't know how much gold you were getting?
No. I found out later on when I got the paperwork. Some is in gold and some is in silver. And
how much how much did you pay? What is your basis?
Well, I mean, I transferred my whole IRA, which was with, I believe, Fidelity.
Yeah.
Transferred it all into Capital Gold
that is a really dumb thing to do, and I'll tell you why. Because you don't make money on that until you sell it, and the appreciation. See, the whole benefit of a retirement account is you don't pay income tax on the gains. So you could make as much money inside that thing as you want, and having tax-free growth is like having an extra 5, 10, 15% return. So here's the deal. By doing it through gold, where you don't pay on the gain anyway until you sell it, you're kind of defeated the purpose of a retirement plan.
I don't even understand. How much gold did you get, like he asked?
She doesn't know.
Well, I mean, that's crazy.
Right. You could have paid $123,000 for 1 ounce.
Exactly.
It's the craziest thing I ever did. Some of it is in
How much is it worth now?
Yeah, how much is your account worth right now?
40-some thousand.
How much?
40-some thousand. I think it's 48,000. Well, anyway, they don't have any integrity. Then a couple years later, they called me back. You still there?
I'm here. I'm just so mystified.
It was so quiet.
They called you back. I'm just contemplating your future here. Go ahead.
They called me and said to convert it all into silver. And I said, you guys, you're scammers. You have no integrity. I'm just going to leave it alone. Then they called and said, put it in platinum. I said, no, I'm leave it alone. And then here in spring, they called me and said, keep your own safe and you store your own gold at home. And they tried to, well, they advertised on your station on K-How, Capital Gold advertised saying, contact us, we'll give you a free safe to store your gold. So again, I did not want to store the stuff here because I can't trust them anymore.
Ursula, what are you calling us about right now? I mean, I can't help you if you bought gold 3 years ago or 4 years ago, and now you're upset about it. I mean, you don't even know how much gold you bought. I mean, when somebody truly makes so many mistakes, I mean, there's nothing I can do about it. Unless there was something illegal, I don't know what to do. I mean, somebody sold you gold and now it's worth less. What can I do about that?
Yeah, okay.
I mean, Ursula, I understand you're upset, but really, what can I do? You bought gold. You don't even know how much you bought, and now whatever you bought is worth 40 grand. Okay, well, why? Is it because you paid too much, or is it because you paid a fair price and it went down? I don't know. I don't know. Okay. I mean, you had to approve it.
And Tom, the only thing is, maybe you can warn people. You warn people when the
I warn people all the time about all kinds of investments. But the very first thing I'll warn them, if you're going to buy gold, find out how much you're paying. How about that? That's a very good thing. You didn't even know what you were paying. Come on, Ursula. Did it occur to you to ask, how much an ounce am I paying?
Because I was an idiot. I don't know. He talked so well. He talked, oh my God, he put his soul in the refrigerator to an Eskimo.
Do you have the original paperwork from your purchase?
Yes.
Can you get it to us?
You know, it looks like in 2013.
Can you scan it?
I think I can.
All right, Mark, 2013.
It looks like gold was, you know, roughly, let's say, 1,800.
1,800 an ounce. So
now it's roughly, it looks like 1,200. So, I mean...
But how much, she doesn't even know how much silver she got.
No idea.
She has no idea.
No, I have to look at the paperwork.
Can you get us the paperwork? I mean, we'll look for mistakes. I know an attorney who takes on people like this for bad investments and securities and all of that. I do. I know people who do it. And many times attorney's fees are built in if you win. So, not built in, but you can get attorney's fees. And if this is a legit place and one of the people scammed you, then you might be able to recover. But I need to see your paperwork, and I will forward it to this attorney. This is one of the few attorneys. He used to be on the referral list, but frankly, he's not on now, and I'll tell you why. Because we didn't have enough people to feed him. In other words, this is a rare area of law. People who've been ripped off by investment people who have a case. I mean, people don't normally go to the referral list to say, who can I get to sue my broker, you know? But we did send him some leads, and most of the time, he's now getting leads from other attorneys and other people. But the guy is great at what he does. And if you ever have an investment rip-off, I can forward you to him. And I don't know, Mark, maybe we should just, on a contingency or something, put him on the referral list, because every once in a while you have people like Ursula who maybe get ripped off. I don't even know if she was ripped off.
Yeah, I don't either, honestly.
But
I think from the legal standpoint, she probably wasn't.
You know, that's the problem. You don't know. People, if you don't understand something, please don't get talked into it. Please. Call me. Call us 24/7. 303-MARTINO. If somebody hits you up for something, do you realize we don't want any money? We'll give you advice. There's nothing to lose by tapping our resources. And if we don't know the answer, we'll find out the answer. This is for you, free. Okay? Call anytime. 303-MARTINO. We love doing what we do. That's why we do it. And it's there to help you, to prevent problems like this. Ursula sounds like my mom. I mean, I would hate for this to happen to anybody again. By the way, Genesis Total Exteriors does all kinds of home improvements, and we love Mark, and we love all the people on our referral list. And, you know, it's really important to have good home improvement people. That's why we have All About Bathrooms here. Hey, if you need a beautiful deck, if you need outside stuff, they do exterior stuff, but they also do interior stuff as well. Give them a call. Kitchens, basements, decks, siding, windows, painting. You can trust Genesis. 303-679-8509, GenesisTotalExteriors.com.
This report is brought to you by
She bought silver and gold. I didn't hear the watch out for
It's like silver did the same thing gold did, right?
Silver's went down more.
Let's do some math. If in fact she has 123, she did buy gold, all gold, divided by how much an ounce? 1,800.
She bought it probably around 1,800, now it's 1,200. So that's a third, it's lost a third.
Should be 80
But
grand.
she lost over half.
Over half.
Yeah.
Divided by.
But we don't know how much was
She
silver.
paid commissions and all of that. So she bought at, how much, she had 68 ounces, let's say. So now 68 times, what is it, Mark?
1,800 or 1,200 roughly.
What you can't see.
But now, this doesn't count commissions and fees. So 81, and she has now 40 something. So some of that was silver.
But we don't know what silver did.
Use promo code.
Let's bring up silver.
Pretty sure silver's free at this point.
No, it's like $15 now.
Services and value. Paradigm Interiors. Look for them on my referrals. You get this personalized attention. You get the best price.
She would have bought pop rocks
Design help as
at
well.
that
They
point,
really
you know?
are changing the way things are.
Oh, look, if you put them in water, they go pop pop.
Places where you're just the number.
Instead, the guy was
Silver at
sold
the time was 35.
refrigerator and Eskimo.
They take care
Silver back then was how much?
35, and it's like
So that's over half.
17 now.
So silver is half.
this personalized attention.
But she
and
still
you
lost more than that.
Get the pricing.
Well, there's
And that much
commission.
commission of fees?
There's commission fees.
Interiors.
But she got that free safe.
I think she's supposed to get a free save. I don't think she does.
I see those ads on TV too.
Yeah.
Hardwood.
Can you imagine converting your retirement into gold coins? Oh, and that's what these companies do, by the way. They're not buying an ounce of gold. They're buying a gold coin. That gold coin has also a markup because it's a coin.
But selling
That's
it
what the
also-
deal
but
is.
selling it
She's
also-
not buying it per ounce. She's buying gold coins.
Is cash flow tight? Are you retiring?
But you also get a markup when you sell it too. It doesn't go by
home?
the standard.
Then consider a reverse mortgage from American Financing. Reverse mortgages are loans
She
that
bought
pay
the
you
peak.
monthly by using the
She
equity
did.
in your home. They
That's
also
when the
protect
gold
your
hit the
spouse from possibly
$1,900
losing your home if you pass away. And FHA ensures that you never owe more than your house is worth. Hey, it's Ross Kaminsky, and here are the facts. You benefit immediately from no monthly mortgage payments, and you have access to tax-free money, all while owning your home. That's right, you still own your home, but now have access to your equity when you need it most. With a reverse mortgage from American Financing, you can feel confident about living your golden years with financial comfort and security. Their mortgage consultants are salary-based, so conversations are simple, straightforward, and honest. Call American Financing today at 303-695-7000. That's 303-695-7000 or online at AmericanFinancing.com.
Sure, yeah. Well, we're not up and running yet, but we are transitioning. So you may, if you want to say something like in the future, shortly, whatever, we'll be transitioning to kitchens and bathrooms.
Educational seminars free with no obligation to you.
What do you do there?
I am the first one. I'm not. No, my husband is Jim. He's been here. Yeah, well. So I'm the first point of contact, basically.
They also own a handyman.
Yeah, Inspector Handyman.
Inspector handyman.
That's how you know Jim, because he's been here talking about Inspector
Okay, don't tell me I
Handyman.
already knew
So
this. All I'm saying is I'm just
4 years ago, we started all about that.
kind of like the email.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
We're doing great. We're doing really good. We're on, both the companies are on your referral list, so. Yeah. we're
No,
doing
they do
great.
it. Yeah, not, they
I've
don't
only
do like
worked with
furnaces
them
and
for
stuff
the
yet,
last,
but they do
this is my
stuff like
fifth
that.
year.
What did you do before?
I owned Champion Carpenter and Catastrophe and Champion.
Well, I mean, I guess ultimately it's doing home service.
Champion Carpenter was also on your referral list.
Did
and
you like
that's
doing
Jim.
it? Did you like doing restoration work?
Oh, yeah, that's hard.
Yeah, there was a lot of money in it, and very little complaining, as opposed to janitorial, which there's always a lot of complaining about stupid. My trash didn't get empty, kind of thing. But, yeah, the restoration was interesting.
Look at AMD up another.
And we had an account with Jim
But
in
like,
the city of Denver.
but they, oh, do you see Bitcoin's drop
Routine
right
body
on the
flush
ground?
and things of that nature for them.
Someone you can
We did
trust.
some really
Bitcoin
interesting
is
stuff.
purely driven off investors.
Michael Brown.
And Americans don't. This guy's
If Buffett walked in there right now with $1 billion, Bitcoin would go over 4,000. Then when he cashes out, a week later, it goes down to 35.
Just because of him.
Of course,
You have that much power.
Oh, $1 billion would move anything.
Hi, Tom Martino here. Welcome. 303-713-TALK. Stacy, what's happening? Stacy.
Oh, yes, hello.
What's going on?
Not much.
How can we help you?
Called you. I called a few weeks ago regarding Greg Martinez with Country Concrete Services.
And are you the one who, you and your husband were new in town and you hired this guy and you trusted him and paid a bunch of money up front?
Yeah, we just moved here in March.
Sometimes I'm amazed by your recollection based on the voice.
Yeah. And then, so anyway, we talked about that, and we talked about the referral list and all that. And then we talked about this guy. And what about your husband talked to him, didn't he, or threatened him, or didn't he promise he was going to come back or something?
Yeah, just the second day he was there working at our house, my husband had came home and just asked him, "Hey, Greg, what work
didn't he get upset or something? Didn't he get really upset?"
Yeah. Yeah, Pete just asked him, my husband just asked him, "What work did you do today?" And he, like, got all upset.
Exactly,
like,
I remember,
Yeah, he started kind of yelling, or not yelling, but just raised his voice at him saying, I'm losing money on this job, and I can't do this because of this, and it rained.
And yeah, this was a real jerk. Mark, did we ever get a hold of this Martinez or give out his number or anything? We got to get this guy in the Sleaze Brigade. So really, what happened then? You never did get him to come back, did you?
Yeah, no, he never did come back. So the next process was we told him then we have no choice than to go see small claims court, and he basically finally then responded after 2 weeks.
What did he do?
Saying, he basically was like, "Okay, bring it on. I'm ready to go to court. I took pictures. I've done half the work." So now we're in the process where we actually got our court date.
Good. Did you serve him?
That's what we're trying to figure out, because he's, like, not located at the 2 addresses we have him on file, from his driver's license and then also from his registered agent address. He's not at either of those locations.
Does his number still work?
His phone number?
Yeah.
Well, we haven't tried calling it since, like, the last time I spoke with you, just because we've been kind of going through the process still with the court and then getting the paperwork, and so...
If we called him and said, "Hey, we want to bid at this address," do you think he'd show up and then we could serve him for you?
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
Yeah, that's kind of what we're thinking is the only way we'll be able to...
Let's see if we can get that worked out. We've done that before.
Okay.
Let's see if we can do that.
What area of town do you think he is in?
Like, what's the address on his driver's license?
That one, I don't have access to the documents right now, but that one I know was in, like, Arapahoe County, and then the other one was...
Do you have his license somewhere you can send to us?
Yeah, I sent it in the previous...
We do have it? Okay, maybe I did do that on... Maybe I already put him up on...
yeah, he's already on your website.
He's on the Sleaze Brigade then, okay. I thought I had put him up there, I'm not sure. Okay, so Suzanne, let's get her... off the air. Let's get all that information again.
Okay, Tom.
And then let's let Mark and Dan try to set up a phony baloney bid.
Got it.
I'm looking at him right now.
Yeah, he's on sleazebrigade.com. Sleazebrigade.com, which can save people a ton of money, kind of like the referral list does. Now, Sleaze Brigade saves money in a different way. It's the antithesis of referral list.
It says his last known cell phone is 720-236-0134.
And then we have Eric Laxon. Remember him on there? Lax on Ethics. I like my little headlines, by the way. Eric Laxon, Lax on Headlines. How about, Lax on
That
Ethics.
poor woman.
Greg Martinez, Country Concrete Services. Started work, disappeared. Yep. Okay. Boy, these... we just keep it, don't we? Just do it. We are so busy in Colorado. That's what people do. They call somebody's legit, it's going to take them a few months. Then they call somebody that can get right out there, pay them up front, gone. It's a license to print money for these guys right now.
And then our new site will be up soon, homeadvisorproblems.com.
Yeah, I got that. Home Advisor Problems for people who got people on Home Advisor. Yep. Hey, Jake.
Yes.
What's going on?
I bought a house at suburbs of L.A.
Yes.
And 2 days after closing, I had my nephew move into the house, and I had to leave.
Yeah, okay.
And 2 days after we closed on the house, the seller's wife was at the property, and my nephew noticed that there was some ground swellings all over the lawn. There's a lawn in the front and the back. And
do you have voles or something, or?
It's gophers.
Yeah. Okay.
And so it was damaging my property.
How many gophers?
Well, you really don't see them, but you have these mounds all over the lawns. And so
how big is the lot, sir?
The grass area is approximately 3,000 square feet. And the problem was, on the seller's disclosure, they never revealed
pests.
The pests.
What does it? I don't recall that being a disclosure item.
Yes,
or they may.
I have.
What does it say?
I have to read it to you.
Yeah, I want to know specifically what it says.
It says, were there problems of pests on the property? And they said no, which wasn't true. And then they said that it states, were there present or past or present damage to the property? And they said no.
Did you inspect the property at all?
Yes.
How much is it going to cost you to remove these?
Oh, well, the way they treat them is it's a temporary treatment procedure where they poison it with strychnine.
They let you poison them in California?
Yes, they apparently
I thought California you had to like tranquilize them and then bring them to a little resort, Gopher resort, and relocate them in a Gopher condo somewhere.
Oh no, they don't do that with gophers. At least
okay, so they're not protected.
No, and so then another question is, was there past or present treatment of the pest? And they said no.
And did you find out there was?
Well, yeah. After we...
You got them nailed. Here's the problem, Jake. The cost of litigation. Because you don't get attorney's fees in these cases. Not automatically, and I doubt you would get them. But were you represented by a real estate person?
Oh, yes. I had Coldwell Banker was the broker.
I would contact my broker and ask them if they have an attorney they would recommend for a non-disclosure suit. But really, you need to talk to the sellers and see if you can settle something.
Well, what I did was I, at the advice of my real estate agent, I should write to the sellers and
yes.
Their agent.
Yes.
And
true.
Well, banker.
And what else?
And I did write them a letter explaining that since they didn't answer the disclosure truthfully, that I was damaged.
I totally agree with you. Now what?
Well, I wrote a letter to...
did you get an answer?
No, they did not reply to me, so that's the...
When did you write it?
Oh, it's been over a month ago, and I...
do you have do you have their phone numbers at all, any of them?
Oh, yes.
I'd love to get a call to them saying for asking them if they're going to respond to you or not. That's
how much damage do you... I don't understand the dollar amount.
I don't know. He never told us. How much?
Well, 5,000?
Let's get right to it. How much?
I contacted a...
About how much? Just get right to the price. Get right. $12,000. Oh, wow. $12,000. Holy crap. Hold on.
Deputy Dan's on his way for that.
Hold on a sec. We got to do something about this. This guy's been ripped. Listen, what I'd like to do, seriously, is just put a call in to the listing agent and say, look, this is not your problem personally, but are you going to answer this guy? Are you going to have your client answer this guy, or shall we have him file a lawsuit? Where are you located right now, Jake?
Colorado.
Okay. Is your son still out there?
That's my nephew. Yes, he's living in the house.
Your nephew. You're going to have someone meet with an attorney and assign the rights, or at least give permission to act on your behalf out there. You're going to have to sue out there. It's a pain in the ass. Did you plan on moving there? Why'd you buy the house? Or Jay?
I can't live in Colorado during the cold weather.
Okay, so you're going to have two places. I get it. Okay, hold on. Let's see if we can light a fire on the other end.
Grant, well, it's California. You could just
I don't doubt that at all.
Find a hole, find a couple of holes, put the
Have you not seen
exhaust
Caddyshack?
Put exhaust
damn
pipe
hose
on.
in the thing.
No.
And you turn the hose on.
No, that won't work for pocket. These are pocket gophers. That'll work for like striped gophers, flicker tails. I used to trap them. I used to trap them on the farm.
He knows the name of different kinds of gophers.
So what do you do for a bulb, you know?
Bulbs, we never used to
I have a bulb.
No, dogs. You get a dog.
We have 2 dogs.
I think
But, they don't come out. They're nocturnal, so they'll come out at night when you're
little
asleep.
things, little.
But they
We have
get a burrow
I
and
think
they.
poison. But it's just seriously, you could put start an engine up, put the hose down there, and just let it run, and carbon monoxide.
What, steak?
Down the hole.
No, I mean when they're dead. I mean if there's hundreds of them, my God.
I'm sure there's
But they'll come back too. It's not like it's a one-shot deal.
You're right.
Come back.
But they're coming from somewhere else. You must be by an open space or something.
Bill Murray put
The water, for pocket gophers, they have such extensive burrows that
People that guarantee you thicker, stronger, longer, healthier looking hair just announced a huge limited
Well, the
time
water's
offer.
being probably
Right now,
$12,000.
load up your cart with as many Elation hair products
Use your
as you
neighbor's
like,
hose.
including the proven
The poison, like I say, poison
Hair
hair
and scalp treatment, and Elation will pay your shipping costs. Free shipping is on now.
Yeah, but then you're going to have these dead gophers everywhere in the ground. So you won't smell.
Nice. You stamp down the hole. Man, that would,
But imagine this curtain's lawn, they do a pretty big mound.
I can't believe they put no.
Well, if you went and looked at it, you would have seen these mounds.
Guaranteed, or your
So they must have got rid of them.
Maybe his argument is they weren't there, yeah.
But he says he has
I
proof
wonder if they
that
were
they
doing some building next to where he bought the house, and the Gophers had no place to go.
Select Talk Radio 630 KHOW at checkout. Hurry,
Yeah.
free shipping and soon.
Or like Tom said, California, they relocated them.
The Gopher sloth.
This is great.
We should have with a pelican.
They're horrible when it comes to those little prairie dogs out here, though. Why they want to move those things, man? They carry so much disease.
What's the plague? The carrier of the plague.
Literally, the plague. It doesn't get worse than the plague.
How are, since you know about this, how do prairie dogs differ from gophers?
They don't build them out. Well, like say different gophers. Pocket gophers are the ones with the big mound.
Okay.
Prairie dogs usually don't have the big.
Just like a little one, but they...
Right, but the hole there.
Okay.
And prairie dogs are during the day, right? They're standing up out there.
Yeah.
So you could shoot prairie dogs.
Do they live, like prairie dogs, do they all live in one mound?
No, a bunch of the community.
So they have their little families.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm sure that's how it is. It's, they got a big community and stuff.
The elderly.
But you could be, we got one like 4 or 5 blocks from our place, and you could just be picking them things off. But they frown on that.
Well, there was a big deal when they were building this new mall down in Castle Rock. Remember when they were running over, the construction company was just running them over with their heavy equipment, and the whole town was up in arms
I lived there
over
at the
the
time.
prairie dogs.
I wasn't pissed off. I hate prairie dogs. I think they're just disgusting.
Were they a special prairie dog or just a run-of-the-mill prairie dog?
I think they were run-of-the-mill prairie dogs.
What's a special one? One with
Like a black-footed prairie dog. I'm serious. The black-footed.
He's making shit
No,
up.
I am not. The black-footed prairie
I'm
dog,
looking
Wyoming.
at
No, I don't know if there's a prairie dog like that. Black-footed ferret stuff was a protected animal.
They have a fantastic team of experts and will understand your situation. Their name says it all. Larson Tax.
Also known as the American polecat or prairie dog.
The absolutely best possible resolution.
It's a prairie dog, the black-footed ferret.
Is it a prairie dog?
Yeah.
That's
between you and the IRS.
That doesn't even look like it. It looks like a little raccoon, doesn't it?
I trust Ron and Jack Larson and their team of experts, and you can
because it's a very small and restricted population.
Or check them out at LarsonTaxRelief.com. That's 844-LARSON-TAX.
You ever had prairie dog stew?
Only way I can get it.
You can never order it rare. It's like hamburger. They insist on cooking it. You want pink or no pink?
Denver's Talk Station, 630.
You will be good at it.
On Gopher call.
Hi, Tom Martino, your troubleshooter. What do you do about gophers? Now, as it turns out, Dan is our resident gopher expert. Deputy Dan knows all about gophers. He does, doesn't he?
We used to trap them.
I told him Bill Murray would put a hose down in the ground and get rid of them.
What are the different kinds of gophers?
I'm sure there's many, but what he's talking about is pocket gophers.
Now, how do you know?
Because they got the mounds.
Oh.
They got the big mounds. And
those are pocket
gophers.
What does that mean?
They got little pockets in their cheek and stuff, and that's so they call them pocket gophers.
But can't you? What do you do? Can you throw anything down the holes there?
Well, poison would work, and also like say if you carbon monoxide, put a hose down, start your car up, put a hose down there and stuff, you could get them that way. But water doesn't normally work because they have such an extensive tunnel system.
Hold on.
Then why would Bill Murray use it?
He never got them either.
Licensed to kill gophers
Did you hear?
by the government of the United Nations. Man free to kill gophers at will. To kill, you must know your enemy. In this case, my enemy is a varmint. And a varmint will never quit. Ever. They're like the Viet Cong. Varmint Cong. So what you gotta do, you gotta fall back. That's superior firepower.
Is this one of his best roles ever?
Oh, man. It's like the Viet Cong.
Do people love Caddyshack? Everyone.
I never liked it ever.
No, I actually.
Mark plays it twice a year.
I'll be straight with you. I don't like it at all. I thought it was inane, stupid. I don't know why. No, I love stupid. I love stupid. I didn't like that stupid. I don't know why.
Oh, I love that show.
I don't know.
Because I'm sophomoric.
Cheryl, you like it? Did you like Caddyshack?
No, not really. I love Bill Murray. I love it.
Oh,
I know what about Bob
Bill Murray's
Fans,
pretty talented. He's creepy looking.
He also did Groundhog Day. This guy's got all kinds of stuff. Gophers, groundhogs.
Yeah.
What about Bob? That's my favorite movie with Bill Murray.
What about Bob?
Great movie.
Yeah.
Is that the one?
He's with a shrink.
Yeah, he harasses a shrink all the way to Winnipesaukee.
What about
he makes the shrink crazy.
What about the ones where the kid next door wrote a story about him? Saint.
Great movie.
I don't know. He was a neighbor to this kid who didn't have a father.
Yeah, he was down and out. It's a great movie.
That was a really nice, touching movie. He's a good actor. So, what do we do about him, man? I mean, really, we do want to call over there, though, and say, this guy deserves a response of some kind. I think they're afraid of lawsuit. That's a clear non-disclosure. The problem with non-disclosures, no matter where they happen, whether L.A. or Denver, the cost of litigation is terrible, and I think a lot of people know that. But you can sue and win if it's a clear-cut case. I mean, disclosure is very important. Now you have to quantify your damages. His damages would not be hard to quantify. You know, it's the cost of removal. Joyce, what do you have to say? Hello? Did she fall down?
Me?
Yeah, there you are. Your phone's acting up, I guess. Joyce, are you on a cell phone? Doggone it. I want to hear her advice. If you can get her on a clear line there, we'll see. 303-713-8255. Doreen, I love that we have so many female listeners and callers. Doreen, what's happening?
Hi, how are you?
I'm doing good.
On July 5th, well, it was July 4th at 12:40 at night.
So it was like really early in the morning on July 4th, or was it the next day on July 5th?
It was on July 5th.
Okay, so it was really like right after midnight. Okay, what happened?
Right. And, you know, there's people still out there doing fireworks and stuff.
Yeah. Where were you?
I was actually sitting on my car, and then I came in the house to fall asleep.
Okay.
You know, and I heard this big old boom, and it was so loud, it woke me up to, like, what's going on, you know? So
yeah.
Myself and my daughter, we ran outside, and to see this man running from an SUV that just totaled my car out.
Now, did he leave the SUV, or was he running away in that?
He was running away from the SUV.
So he left his car?
Yes, he left his car, locked it up, and took off.
What?
Running towards where the car supposedly got stolen from.
Oh, he went back and said, "Oh, my car was stolen," right?
Right, exactly. Because my daughter called at 12:40, and
where did he run back to?
The police got the call at 12:41.
Where did he run back to?
2 blocks.
And then did he call the police saying his car was stolen?
Yes.
See, what
yeah, but how does she know at night who
how do we know it really didn't get stolen is what Mark is asking, and usually, Mark, you're pretty skeptical. She's saying she sees this guy run away, a call goes into the police that the SUV was stolen, she calls the police. So, did the police believe him?
They were kind of sketchy about it.
He said, was he drunk? Probably.
He was drinking, and he said that he was sitting in his truck and listening to music.
And what happened? Somebody came up and took it?
He said 2 guys came up to him with bandanas and a gun and said to give me your car.
Hey, Doreen, tell Tom how hard he hit your car. Where did your car end up?
He hit it so hard that my car ended up in the next door neighbor's driveway.
Wow.
And I have a nice 2003 Jaguar. I had just put brand new rims and tires.
Well, you would think just some basic fingerprints. It's either there's multiple fingerprints on that steering wheel or just that guy's. I mean, this doesn't seem like it's a Perry Mason case.
Right. Well, the police says that they only found 1 fingerprint on the mirror on the outside, which there was no other fingerprint.
What, on that whole car?
On the whole car, there was no other fingerprints.
Now, the figure that you saw running away, the figure you saw running away, the guy, was he a similar shape of the guy that you saw, or didn't you see the guy?
Yes. Well, the guy came back with the police.
And he looks similar to the guy running away?
Yes. He just different clothing.
So they're not going to charge him, right?
They're in the range of seeing what's going on. They told me they would call me.
I wish there were street cams of some kind.
But they couldn't give me no information on, you know, the guy's insurance. And also, I'm looking into the alley, the one where he lives at, right? There's a camera, so I have this gentleman that's looking at his camera, because the gentleman said that when they stole his car, he started running after them. Who runs after a vehicle after they just put a gun to your head?
Yeah, his story's a lie, it sounds like. But
exactly.
is there a camera in the vicinity where it was supposedly stolen?
Not in the alley, but as he's coming from there was this Mexican guy I talked to from the church.
What kind of camera? Is it a parking lot camera, or is it a traffic camera? What kind of camera?
It's just a camera in their...
Whose?
In the front of their...
Like one of the houses has a camera in front of it.
Yes.
Did you get the video?
The guy said he's looking at it. No, I did not get the video, because he said he has to call.
That'll tell the story.
Now, when you say the guy says he's looking at it, this guy that owns the camera is examining the video?
Yes.
I'd love to find out about this. That's going to be your only thing. I mean, if the police believe this guy...
You know, depending on the distance, so it's going to be in night vision mode. It might be almost impossible to tell.
You know, yesterday we had on our expert on water filtration, and we had a big reaction to that. A lot of people really loved it. And Pure Water Choices is the name, and Al is a master plumber, and he runs the place, and he was just really straight about this stuff. And he said, look, you know, there is, carbon filters are good for gases, and then media filters are good for things like, chemicals and debris and, particulates and medications and stuff like that. And he says you really need a combination of both. And he really shoot straight with you. He said, look, I can do a point of use system for around $600, or more. I can do a whole house system. You're going to pay for a quality system, but here's the deal. You're not going to overpay, and you're going to get a really good system, a really beautiful system that works for real, okay? Not some of these schlock systems you buy at a big box store or people sell with fear. I urge you to call Pure Water Choices. He will do a free evaluation of your water and installation and give you a price up front. PureWaterChoices.com. Yes, he'll come and inspect and give you a price up front before any work with no obligation. 720-219-7818.
This report is brought to you by Belco Credit Union.
There's a couple of the typical slow spots in the highway drive in the metro area. Southbound 225 heavy between the Spillway and I-25. Downtown, northbound I-25 stop and go, just starting at Alameda, heading up towards Colfax. Southbound slow in that typical spot south of the Mousetrap, heading down towards Spear. Westbound I-70 slow in the elevated portion, and westbound 270 stop and go on the approach to Vasquez. The weather forecast. Afternoon thunderstorms today. Some could be heavy with a high of 82. Tonight, thunderstorms continue, an overnight low of 61. Right now, mostly cloudy skies in Denver and 76. With your traffic and weather, I'm Pete Wagner, 630 KHOW.
As a market leader in outstanding CD rates, Belco has the perfect products to fit your needs, including IRA CDs. To learn more, stop by any Belco branch, visit belco.org/CDs, or call 1-800-BELCO-1. Federally insured by NCUA. Belco, banking for everyone.
Sheridan
Auto Tech is special.
And they run into their house and open up a bottle and say, hey, I just had it now. I mean, could they still get them for DUI? Although maybe I guess a breathalyzer, if you take a drink but don't swallow it and swish it around like vodka or something, would a breathalyzer pick that up even though you're not intoxicated?
I've never had a breathalyzer.
Because you're blowing from your lungs.
Because it's coming.
It's got to be in your blood. No, it's coming from your lungs.
Sure you get the loan.
Is water a nutrient?
Financial purchase.
I would say yes.
Loan for you and not the one that wants to sell you. Take aim. Affordable.
Oh my God, you have to have it.
We've been offering our calories since 2001. Loan program.
I
would say nutrients is
calories. Fall into the nutrient category.
Loan application.
Well,
like a rock.
Pre-approval
Rock is not
is
nutrient.
accepted on your dream home. Purchases with only 1% down and no mortgage insurance.
Is it a nutrient?
720-895-0500.
Well, shit, we can't live without it. It would have to be a nutrient. Logically,
can't live without air either.
You can pay off your home in half the time without changing one penny of your spending habits. Call 720-895-0500 to find out how. Take aim. CFPB stated that the consumer has spent over $13 billion in fees on the mortgage that they may have saved had they shopped. Call us now and start saving. Affordable interest mortgage. 720-895-0500. NMLS 298191. Regulated by DORA. Equal credit lender.
It is a
made me think of something.
You are right. It is a nutrient.
You know how some people want to have their babies like in a pool? As long as they're still hooked up to the umbilical cord in the placenta,
So I'm going to tell you straight up.
do they have to be able to breathe once they come out, the kids?
It's an actual, it's a reaction. It's an
Oh.
automatic response.
Oh,
when
yeah.
they- yeah. Once they're birthed into
So
the
when
water.
they have a birth in the water, how does a kid not drown then?
You don't work out, you get less.
Because it's so quick, it comes out and it's out of the water.
So even though if you're still hooked up to the umbilical cord and your nutrients of placenta, you have to breathe once you come
It's
out.
not a lifeline. You can't stay under the water without your umbilical cord. No, you can't. Because it's not, and the thing that triggers them breathing is
Yeah, what goes from here to there? What's that cut?
the thing that triggers breathing is that they're always breathing, but it's not breathing air. The thing that makes them breathe is
OTEmedical.com.
the carbon dioxide.
When the doctor slaps your back?
Well, I think their lungs are actually used. I think they're actually working while they're in the womb, right?
Yeah.
Well, the muscles have to be.
Because not every baby has to be slapped to start breathing.
Yeah, that's a
You get, yeah.
Okay. That's more to get stuff out of there, to clear the airway.
Yeah, they get stuff out to clear the airways or something.
Like an instinctual thing not to breathe underwater anyway, right? Like it's not something you train. Like I mean, you develop the training. Like I was just hanging out with my 1.5-year-olds in the pool. I know every time they go underwater, they just kind of naturally.
We had a kids program, and I scared the shit out of them. Before you take your baby, they just take your baby and go, okay. It's like they're underwater going.
I think it's crazy. You can take a dog and throw it in a pool, and it'll just start swimming. Never been in a pool before. I find that incredible.
Yeah.
Need a new roof?
But a human will stink like a rock, you know?
Well, unless you're an infant. But it's cognitive, too. I mean, if you throw an adult in who doesn't know how to swim,
they're going to sink.
It's a cognitive thing that, shit, I don't know how to swim. I'm going to drown. A baby doesn't have that cognition to be able to process it that way. You throw them in and boom, they just kind of...
The baby starts swimming.
So both water and oxygen are considered inorganic nutrients. Just like, you know.
Oh, in your face. In your face.
Hi, I'm Tom Martino, your Troubleshooter 303-713-TALK. Patrick's got a comment on
pocket Gophers. Go ahead, Patrick. We had a call on Gophers, and there are a lot of Gopher people out there.
Yeah, I go for them too.
Yeah, what do you have to say about pocket Gophers?
Well, I do pest control, and we do rodent control, and there's that way to put the exhaust down there. Unless that man can find a pest control company that gets some traps, or called pocket gopher traps. And the technique to that is you'll find the hole, follow the hole out, set that trap, and then because the gopher's nocturnal, so they don't like the light. So when that trap's down in that hole, they come back up and fill that hole back up, and that trap stabs them in the ribs, and it kills them instantly, instead of putting them suffering.
Yeah. I want to. Are gophers good for anything?
No, but the more there is, the softer the ground, because they like to burrow deeper under the floor, you know, so it makes it like soft. So the ground will get spongy, and it destroys the property.
I'll tell you, did that price shock you? He said 12 grand?
Yeah, we do it, and we do 3 modified services here in Colorado, and we only charge like maybe 150, and we go out there every...
150 for how many?
We go out there as much as possible until we get the problem solved, and
but it's 150. It's 150 bucks a trip.
No, just for that one contract, for as long as it takes, we'll go out there every other day and extract the
I think he could fly you to California, put you up in the Four Seasons Hotel, and you could do that job and still save him money. Yeah, I mean, I don't even understand that.
How many usually live in a community? Is there like hundreds or like 10?
Well, it varies. Like, he's got 3,000 square feet, so you're talking probably a couple hundred. You know, it depends on how many mounds there is. Because
you obviously you wouldn't go out to a lot for 150 bucks for a few dozen gophers. You can't. You couldn't stay in business.
Right, but that's for that size of lot, it'd be a little bit more. But for over here in Colorado, lots ain't that big. Maybe couple hundred feet.
Yeah, he's talking about small backyards, 150 bucks.
Yeah, but that's a huge discrepancy. 150, 12,000?
Yeah.
It's like 2 different things here.
Yeah, I think he's too low on 150, but that's him. You know, if he says he does it, I'm not gonna call him a liar. But I mean, that sounds almost impossible. Mark.
Yes.
What's happening, man?
Well, got a problem with CenturyLink.
Well, yeah, I know. They're terrible people. They are.
I bet they billed you incorrectly.
Yep.
Yeah, well, I've had CenturyLink for a couple of years now. I've just gotten tired of their billing. So I called them up earlier this year saying I wanted to part ways, and the guy was, let me see what I can do to help you out. So I gave him one more chance, and they didn't come through on that. So I called back and said I want to cancel. And now they're saying I owe them $200 for breaking the contract. I said, well, go ahead and show me the contract.
Right.
Because I didn't agree
That's
to
right.
anything.
They'll never get it. They'll never get it. The problem is they're going to try to destroy your credit. They're terrible.
Yeah, then
you know, CenturyLink used to be a real company. I mean, they are no more than sleazy gangsters. These people are running scams. They tell their people how to lie. They support them in the lies.
I got to stand up for their service techs, though. I have had nothing.
I'm not talking about the service.
Yeah,
we're talking about the sales.
Horrible.
There's Mark. We heard them lie on tape.
It was incredible.
I mean, they're just flat out lie. So listen, you right now, I would ignore it, Mark. That's what I would do. Do we have someone at CenturyLink we can? Do we even have anyone there that talks to us, Suzanne?
Yeah, we do.
I can't remember, but if Mark says we do, we must.
Yeah. In the billing area? Oh,
only in billing.
All right. We'll put your name. Give your name. Give your name to Suzanne first and last.
They okey-doked me, and I had to reach out to our own contact.
They did?
Yes.
What, did they lie about something?
Yes, they said it. Yeah, same calls everybody else has.
That you were going to pay so much.
It was like $39. Next thing you know, it's $99 a month. It was crazy.
Gosh. All right, we have a lot more to go. Don't forget, we have All About Bathrooms. We have some emails for them coming up. We also have problems, questions, complaints. 303-713-TALK. You can get right in with a couple lines right now. 303-713-8255.
It's time to take that old heating and air conditioning system of yours and kick it.
Take it from Mark. Sisters from brothers. There's no better. The baby doesn't breathe in utero. The water is the same temperature as in utero, and so when they come
They don't
out,
breathe, so they're getting oxygen through the blood. That's what I asked. That was my exact.
I thought the lungs,
so the lungs are not even working right.
the PDA bypasses that. No, the lungs aren't even working. So after they're born and they take that first breath, that
How long
artery
could you keep
shuts
the kid
off.
underwater?
Ideal hormones for your next
The baby will not breathe until they take their first breath.
Out of the water.
Right.
So, I mean, theoretically, you could keep that kid underwater.
Yeah, if you see
For
some
a half hour?
Yeah, but you wouldn't want to.
Of course not, but I'm saying.
Yeah. So if you actually watch those birds, they're not like, they don't, because they just don't do it.
So the body is tricked, it's still in utero.
Yes.
Because the temperature is the same.
And that PDA, that artery, when they take their first breath, that artery shuts off. And that bypasses the lungs. It closes off, and then the other artery takes over for the heart and the lungs. Yeah, so Lauren had the PDA, but hers didn't shut off. Sometimes they have to operate and close it off. She just had to be on oxygen because she wasn't
breathing.
Yeah, she wasn't breathing completely, and then they gave her medication and it closed. But there are babies that have to have that surgery to.
So do we carry that artery that's closed off?
It turns into a ligament. It just turns into like the over body. Yeah. I'm not a doctor, I just play one on the radio.
You not knowing what nutrients are. These guys not understanding babies can breathe underwater.
But we were talking organic nutrients.
Nutrients.
I thought he said organic.
We were talking Italian food, not food.
Doctors say.
I guess
I didn't say Chinese food. I gotta tell you, these traps look bad.
They are bad. We had the pan traps that go like this. But those things, if they hit them right, they will kill them.
Just stab them.
But they got, like I said, they got to run through this and hit them. So if they're running down to the yard.
Yeah.
You know what you can get for a pocket Gopher?
I had another one. So, and I'm allergic to
what you sell.
Yeah.
My mom was the township person, and the township would pay it.
My daughter
was for dead Gophers.
For dead Gophers. So you cut off a pocket Gopher, you cut off the claws, because they're big claws. They're big.
And then they give you a quarter. For both claws?
Both claws.
When is it a three-legged?
I had a baby 23 years ago.
37
So we're clear on the birthing.
I had it right. These people knew nothing.
Hey.
Tomorrow, mostly sunny with a high of 83. Friday, mostly sunny and a high of 86. With identity theft.
Did you call the guy up, Greg?
Can hurt you. Well, like
I spoke with the owner, Jake. And he didn't want us to call. His listing agent and selling agent were in the same office. So there's conflict of interest already.
Absolutely.
And he's like, I don't want you to talk to the listing agent because I don't want you to upset my realtor.
Why would you care?
He just wanted like hookup furniture, and like if I knew.
Yeah, they're like say 12 grand. There's no way they're going to charge 12 grand for some Gophers. No way. You know, like, oh, it's outrageous. It's egregious. It's preposterous.
But if there's 200 of them, you know,
that would have to be 200 pockets and 3,000 square feet. That'd be like a mound every.
And how would that not have been there when they purchased the house? And how would it have been a couple days after they purchased the house? That all of a sudden these mounds.
I'm sure.
You can tear up the yard and re-landscape for 12 grand.
Right. Right. Well, they're coming from somewhere, and I will bet you that like you said, there's construction somewhere else, and they chased them out.
Chase them out. Yeah. You can put them in your neighbor's yard.
I think you just go get Bill Murray. You see California? Bill, we got a job for you. No, don't do like you did last time.
That part of the movie was.
That whole movie was great.
Who's the guy? Who's the other guy? I can never remember his name. No, he was in it.
Rodney Dangerfield. Oh, Ted Knight.
And him.
Cheryl, I'm sorry. Oh, that's outrageous.
Oh.
It's egregious.
It's egregious.
Where's that from?
Oh, I don't know.
It's egregious. It's outrageous.
It's preposterous.
Where is that from?
I don't know.
Jackie Childs on that.
No.
Where else would it be from? Who was it? The attorney, Jackie Childs. He's Johnny Cochran.
Was that from,
Your face is my case.
I'm an idiot. You're a goblin.
He gets ready, calls him a goblin. And then, right before court, Kramer goes out and gets a bomb and puts on the bomb for the burn. He spills coffee. It was copied off the McDonald's coffee deal.
Oh my God.
So right before court, he goes out and gets a bomb and puts the bomb on, and the burn goes away. Bomb? Who told you to get a bomb? I don't remember telling you to get a bomb.
The burn was better then?
Yeah.
Okay, where did he get the bomb from? That's a trivia question.
I don't remember the episode.
Oh, you don't remember the episode? Oh.
Where did he get it?
The Maestro.
Oh, that's bomb.
So I have to, there are some episodes.
So,
well, then what did they do in the meeting without the burn?
Well, they settled.
Did he put on a bad?
No, he settled outside. He didn't tell his attorney he settled.
Wait, no. He settled in court. And the guy.
Oh, that's right. They settled in court.
Not in court, in the office. In the office.
Free cafe lattes for life.
Okay, we're prepared to offer you free cafes for life. I'll take it. And they're going to offer him some other stuff too. And Cameron goes, I take it.
6400. Cafe lattes.
You don't pay a cent
for life.
You're content.
Your face is my case.
It's like an old catcher's mitt.
He sued the tobacco companies. He sued the coffee place.
Oh, Henry.
In the O. Henry. He sued the O. Henry candy bar heiress because she was wearing nothing but a bra in public. And as he was driving, he got distracted by looking at her.
This is the Troubleshooter Show.
Help! I need somebody.
Now, Tom Martino, the Troubleshooter.
Help me if you can. I'm feeling
Hi, Tom
down.
Martino here. We got lines open. Get us, call in if you have a problem, question, or complaint. You want to get something off your chest, something is bothering you. 303-713-TALK, 303-713-8255. Welcome. Today, we have someone from the referral list in the house. So we always have someone sitting by. We have common men that come in. If you ever want to be a guest on the show and you're a listener for many years, you want to come in and see what it's all about, we allow that. We love it. You can do that through our email address, live@troubleshooter.com. That's the email address, live@troubleshooter.com. Just put a request in. We love it. Now, Cheryl's with us from All About Bathrooms today. From the referral list, we were talking about bathrooms a bit. The way they do business is by letting you purchase stuff wholesale on their account. They don't mark up materials. They just simply do the labor. And you come up with your design, do the legwork, go out and do your shopping, and then call them, and they're in and out of there in anywhere from 4 to 6 weeks. You know, what's the most expensive part of the bathroom? I'll tell you what I found it to be. What did you find it to be?
The most expensive part?
Yeah. I guess it depends on the customer, really, because it could be...
Plumbing.
Yes.
Plumbing can be huge.
Yeah, the most. Yeah. I mean, the fixtures are outrageous. I never realized how much plumbing fixtures are.
They are.
Holy crap.
If you get quality fixtures, it can
I was looking at
a lot.
At this one bathroom little remodel I was doing, and just the shower and the knobs and the things, and they were $1,900 for like this thing.
Yeah.
Seriously?
Yes.
And I'm thinking, no, that can't be. It can't be. But I remember this drain I had done. It was a newfangled drain. It was the kind that the whole floor slanted, and it was not in the corner, but along the whole back of the shower.
Okay. An inline drain.
Yeah, very cool.
Yeah.
Instead of the center.
Yeah.
Do you do those?
We do a lot of those. That's very, very popular now. People don't want to have to step over the curb into the shower. They just want a smooth transition, just walking right in. Yeah, we do a lot of.
Oh, so you do a drain right there where the threshold is?
Well, it depends.
Okay.
It depends. Yeah, it can be back by the wall. It can be at the threshold. Just depends.
And
on
I hate shower doors. I hate doors and curtains. I love the kind of showers where you step in and over and you don't need a door. I mean, they're just ridiculous. You have to keep them clean and they leak, and I don't like any of them. Do you like doors, shower doors, or curtains? Well, first of all, curtains. I mean, there are some curtains, but I don't like shower doors at all. I don't like them.
Yeah, we just have like a big walk-in.
Exactly.
And you go around the corner.
I think that's cool. 303-713-8255. Fred, what is going on?
Oh, good morning, Tom.
Hey, what's happening?
Long-time listener.
Thank you.
First-time caller.
Okay, well, what's happening that made you call?
I live at Windsor Gardens.
Yeah.
I've been there for 29 years.
Is Windsor Gardens specifically for? It's not for senior citizens, is it?
Oh, it's God's waiting room, Tom.
Oh, is it? Is it? I didn't realize that's what it was, but you said you've been there 39 years.
No, 29.
Oh, 20. Well, how old are you?
He checked in early.
Yeah.
Checked out.
I'm 83.
Oh, okay. You didn't sound 83, although I don't know what 83 sounds like. So, anyway, so what's happening?
Okay, well, I have a Silverado truck a camper was built on a Silverado truck.
Yeah.
And they have a I've had it for 17 years. It's been parked in the Windsor Gardens parking lot for 17 years.
Okay.
And I got a ticket, warning ticket, that it's over 20 feet. And the man that wrote the ticket, his name is Harris.
Is he new?
I don't know. Anyway, he said I have to remove my spare tire and my hitch because I have a small fishing boat.
That's it. Because it goes over just a few inches, you have to remove them.
In order to park it in the parking lot. Now I have to park it in the street.
Well, what is it a big deal to take off the spare and the hitch? You have a removable hitch, right? Do you have a receiver where you put the hitch in when you need it?
Yeah, I do, but my spare tire?
I know.
I mean, come on.
Now, listen, if you were there for 17 years, why did it become a problem all of a sudden? Why?
I made some enemies. I think that there were several things that happened here in the last year.
Like what? Give me an example of what you did that would create animosity.
They used to put a sign on the door that the water would be turned off on such and such a day, because they have to do repairs.
Every now and then there'd be a notice about water. Then what?
Right. Well, they stopped doing that. And I was getting ready to take a shower to go over to my daughter's place, and the water was turned off. I couldn't take a shower.
Okay.
And it was off for like 3 hours. So I called the office, and
this is how you made it. This is how you made enemies.
Yeah, and several other things too.
Okay, so without going through each story, I mean, basically you did some complaining here and there, and they labeled you, or what?
Yeah, they did. Yeah, I'm a mark. And
okay, so this guy that told you this warning, that gave you the warning, this guy, has he been with Windsor Gardens long?
You know, Tom, I don't know. I don't know that.
Okay. So what do you, I mean, you know, technically, if they had that rule, I mean, you know, and they can show it to you, I don't know what else you can do about it except abide by it, right?
Well, yeah, and park out in the street. So what happens?
Or remove.
I have to park 3 or 4 blocks away, and my hip is going out. I mean,
well, I know, but that's not seriously. I mean, I'm not taking up their side. I'm just saying that you know, technically you don't have an argument because your hip is bad. What if you had a semi? It doesn't matter if your hip's bad. They don't want you parking it there. But what I would say is, I know they're nitpicking, and I know it's probably not that important and it's petty. But what can you do about it? If they want to be jerks, have you tried going above this guy's head? Have you gone to anyone else?
Well, that's why I called you, Tom.
Okay, well, we'll call and ask them. I mean, you've been there that long. It seems stupid to me. Now, do you own units or rent?
No, I own it.
It's an owner condo area, right? Okay.
Right. I've owned it for 29 years.
If you own it, there's an HOA, right?
Yes.
So the people there telling you what to do are management company. It's not the HOA, it's the management company. The problem is management companies almost become the HOA because the HOA members have so much apathy, they don't get involved, and I call them runaway management companies. They start voting themselves in with proxies, all kinds of benefits and raises and management fees, and they become little Nazis. So it could be, seriously, it could be they're a runaway management company, and you can...
Very good.
And you can take it straight to the homeowners association. Does the HOA ever have a meeting? You could get a special permit, maybe. I mean, you're talking about literally what? A foot or inches? What are we talking about?
We're talking about maybe 3 inches. He wants me to...
See, no, I'd like to call over there. Shouldn't we call over there? If you're literally talking about 3 inches, that's ridiculous.
Well, here, I've got the warning ticket in my hand. Here it says... your vehicle is over 20 feet long. It will be towed at owner's or remove tire and hitch, complete hitch, which means that the main hitch is connected to the...
yeah, I don't have to know this. If you take out the receiver, will it still be too long?
It'll still be too long. He says the complete hitch with... and then the spare tire.
This guy's
right
just looking for trouble. Come on, I understand. You don't have to repeat it. The spare tire and the hitch. This guy's just looking for trouble, especially if you've had it there for 17 years. 17 years, Tom. Yeah, it sounds like they're out for you. Listen. Also, I got a permit to park it 17 years ago. You did? Because they, yeah. Why? Why'd you need a permit back then? I had to go over to the office and get a permit to park it. Why? I don't know why. They demanded it, and I did it. And what I mean, Fred, is do you need a permit to park any vehicle there? Yes. Okay, so that's why you got a permit. Why'd you say you don't know? I mean, everyone there needs a permit, right? Yes. Okay. I thought it was a special thing, and if it was, then why couldn't you just get a new one? But it's not a special thing. It's just an ordinary permit that everyone gets. Well, so, not only that, Tom, but you have to move your vehicle every 21 days. Right, because they don't want abandoned vehicles. I understand all that. What I don't understand is getting upset over 3 inches or so or whatever it is. I mean, I wouldn't mind calling over there to the general manager. As I remember, though, my memory banks are coming back now when it comes to Windsor. I think they're idiots and jerks over there. I think there was one person over there.
Yeah, it was a lady, a little old lady.
That's exactly, she was nasty.
Yeah, yep.
I remember that now.
Yeah, Windsor wasn't super helpful.
No, they weren't helpful at all. Let's hope that person died. Maybe we can talk to someone else.
It is God's waiting room over there.
I mean, she was so old, and I'm thinking, you know, she'd be better off maybe. So I'm thinking, let's call over there and see if we can talk to someone and just reason with them as far as this guy's truck. I can't guarantee anything, Fred. These guys, it just sounds like they want to be jerks. And when people want to be jerks, man, there's not much you can do about it. Colorado Tinnitus and Hearing Center, I continually get this question about the tinnitus treatment. When I say permanent solution, they say, well, is it a cure? Okay, if you use this treatment It hasn't been around long enough to know if it's secure, but so far it's not coming back. The tinnitus is not coming back. So it's staying away, at least we know, years and years and years. So if it does come back, though, you get to keep the treatment. If you buy the treatment, you get to keep it. It's called the Syncra. It's a hearing device that you wear so many hours a day for several weeks, and it desensitizes that part of the brain to the sound. It really works. Now, here's the deal, though. You will have to get tested to see, and it's an evaluation to see if you're a candidate. But what I love about it is they'll even let you try it out to see if you want to keep going without spending anything. They'll also let you try out hearing devices. But it's called the Syncra. Now, as far as hearing aids, they have Widex and a number of others. And I urge you to go there because you get to try them out. And you can try them out for 3 weeks. Colorado Tinnitus and Hearing Center, 303-534-0163. 303-534-0163.
This report is brought to you by Mercy.
Watch out for a crash downtown on northbound I-25 at 6th Avenue. Backups already
To Santa Fe, there's a flat tire changer eastbound I-25.
Those are great
Backups to I-25. More crashes off Highway 1 Parker Road in Florida. And watch out for a right-hand southbound Broadway 14. And there's a crash north of town on northbound I-25 there near exit 255. Some minor delays on the highway. There's the forecast. There's a chance of afternoon thunderstorms today. So heavy, a high of 82. Right now, mostly cloudy and 76
a lot of cranky
in
people
Denver.
over at
With the traffic and weather.
Where's Windsor Garden at?
6:30.
Somewhere in Mississippi at Leedsdale.
Standing with people facing poverty.
It's all condos.
They're ugly.
They're ugly. Well, they're old.
Are they?
Old and
Well,
ugly.
he's been there 29 years.
And we won't do anywhere.
Really?
I can't believe how clean my carpets are.
People
I
are
can't believe I
cranky.
got it all done without any
You have to have
soap,
special
chemicals,
permissions
or
about,
detergents.
which elevators to use, parking, and blah, blah,
Are they real jerks about that?
Yeah.
Everything.
Yeah.
You can do 3 rooms for just $124,
Go
including
to a different waiting room
and
yourself.
sanitizing. 303-471-5150. ZeroResDenver.com. Patented empowered water. You can feel the difference. When I walk on my carpets after Zero Res, they feel new, and I never have to
Or,
worry
you
about
know, that age
dangerous
group too,
toxins
you get
left
people
behind.
who are,
Right now,
like this
Zero
guy
Res is
who
offering 3 rooms
flaunt all
pre-treated,
off, and the other
cleaned, and
people that want it
sanitized for just
so rigid,
$124.
you know, to do anything wrong.
Call now and get really clean carpets with Zero Res. 303-471-5150. Zero Res, the only system that completely leaves your carpet without residue. 303-471-5150.
Linda Michelle here, the Sisters from Brothers. And these tourism websites who describe a Denver summer, they believe we never get above 82.
What do you guys do about the plumbing? Do you have a plumber on staff, or you sub
Another
out?
reason why
We do, and we'll,
sub out?
we do sub out sometimes. It depends on the circumstance. If we pulled a permit on a job,
because it's priced right.
then we have to use our licensed plumber. But if we don't have to pull a permit, we do the plumbing. So, just depends on the circumstance, but
Hey guys, it's Ross Kaminsky.
yeah, we don't want to
And
talk
my
about
background
permits because that's a
is
really
investing
gray
in
area.
property.
It is, and so is licensing, and so is, so many people do, so many
Talk
people,
about cutting back your mortgage term
also
or lowering your
homeowners
interest rates.
permits.
Many homeowners,
Yeah.
my friends in
That's
American
amazing, though,
have
that
their
homeowners are allowed to work on anything, which is just as dangerous or more than somebody who has experience but doesn't have a license, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I'm not saying there shouldn't be licensing, there should be, but I think they allow homeowners to do anything electrical at all. You know,
Yeah.
all you do is take out a homeowner's
You're
permit.
borrowing
Right.
money at a lower rate
Yeah.
for much less time. It can
I
be
mean, it
a
has to
much
be
better deal
inspected.
for you.
So if you do it, you know, if you do a half-assed job about it, then you've got to do it all over again and go through that whole process
It just
again.
takes
But
one call
yeah.
to their salary-based mortgage.
I
consultant.
one house I did all my, well, this was years and years ago, I did all my
at
electric, my entire house.
AmericanFinance.net.
I was building it, and I wanted to save money. And I wanted the experience. And I did a lot of work myself with Dan Iron here, Dave. That was when I was first here in Denver, in Colorado.
How'd you do?
I did really well. I bought, it wasn't a kit, I bought a package, put this at the time, and it was it wasn't prepackaged, pre-cut. It was just in materials, a materials package. Because if you bought from one supplier, you got a really good deal. And they would do a takeoff on your plans, and then you could buy. And then I went out and hired. I did everything under homeowners that I could, and went out and hired subs. It was a nightmare, but I wanted the experience, and I did a series on it for Channel 4. Building your own home, how to general and build your own home. It was amazing. It was difficult.
How long did it take?
It took me 8 months.
Well, that's not bad, relatively speaking.
It was not a big house.
But it takes some people years,
Yeah, and I literally scheduled, my wife and I scheduled everything. The problem you have when you do that is you're not smart as a general, and I wasn't as a general. They lie, the subs will lie about each other, so they blame each other on
Right, yeah, nobody wants to take responsibility.
Hi, Tom Martino, your troubleshooter. You're going to have to skedaddle soon, Cheryl, with all about bathrooms. When they're not here, you can find them at 720-524-7546. Do you think anything that when you walk into bathrooms to redo them, or when it comes to bathrooms, is there any common mistakes you guys find a lot of that you think really doesn't belong, or is it's just not good to do in a bathroom that people do?
Well, the most common thing that we have found in doing remodels is carpeting. Of course, a lot of
God,
people,
that's terrible.
It's the worst.
But they almost always tear it out after a while, right?
Right. But if someone wants to get even laminate flooring, we do not recommend that. We recommend tile. You can get tile now that looks like wood. And for flooring, it's
now luxury
amazing.
Luxury vinyl tile. I talk about that because I love that Paradigm flooring. Paradigm sells it, Paradigm Interiors, and this luxury vinyl tile, you can buy it for a fraction of wood, and it looks beautiful. And it's also waterproof.
Okay. So yeah, anywhere where you have moisture, you're going to want to have something that is suitable for that. So
I know I've noticed hardwood floors in some of the bathrooms. Not a good idea.
And I don't recommend that for a kitchen either. And
oh no, loads of people do it in the kitchen. Loads of people.
Yeah. And we're going to be expanding into kitchens soon.
Okay,
so,
cool.
Just so you're
So will you do the kitchens in the same way where people buy their own stuff and on your wholesale account you'll do the kitchens?
Yes.
That could be an economical way of doing kitchens.
Yeah.
You know, because Mitch Fleury does that with his granite and stuff. He lets people buy wherever they want, and then he'll fabricate it. Will you be doing everything in the kitchen, including counters and everything, cabinets and all that? But they go out and buy that stuff, right?
They'll go out and buy it, and with regard to the countertops, like you said, they'll pick the slab, and it'll be fabricated by a company that we partner with.
And then they do it on your account.
And then they do it on our account.
So you guys don't mark up materials,
basically. We do not. No.
Okay.
No.
That's a unique way of doing it. And then you charge for whatever you do.
Our labor.
Right.
Yes.
And
our labor and general construction material, that's how we make our money. That's how we work. We want our customers to be able to get a break on their material and save some money somehow. So that's how we do it.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
I think as we get into the age of the internet, not into it, but we're way into it, you know what Amazon is doing with food stores and what people are doing with everything. I mean, we're ready for a big, major shift when it comes to buying and selling. A major shift. I mean everything.
Yep. I agree.
There's not going to be one thing left the same.
Yeah.
I mean,
I think that's unfortunate, honestly. But we did have a customer, I was telling Mark, that bought every stitch of material online. And we don't really necessarily recommend that because you can't touch, feel,
no, I know, but
yeah, but if you know what particular Kohler toilet you want, I mean, it's going to be the same thing.
Here's the thing: they go to a retailer to see and touch it, and then go online to buy it.
That's how I buy my shoes.
No, but retailers are becoming stooges, basically. So anyway, all about bathrooms, Inc.com. And that's 720-524-7546. Mark, we're not going to recognize retail. I mean, these stores, a lot of the high-end stores, they're just going to go away. I mean, why do you walk in and pay the prices that you see when you can go online? You don't. For the same exact stuff. What are stores going to become? I think you will have limited storefronts like kiosks and places to examine them. And I don't know.
Here, I'll make a prediction.
I mean, even Amazon is getting to a point where they're stocking major regional warehouses. I don't even
massively
know. How do they know what to stock? And they're doing same-day delivery.
Because they have all the data. They know what they're going to sell before they sell it. They have all the data. Here's what's going to happen, though, with dealerships, I bet. You ready? Why would you go to a dealership? Why?
It's going away.
It's going to go away. You're going to have like a Tesla's model. You go to the mall. They've got like 3 there.
But you're going to have
test drive when you order it.
You'll have affiliated services. I don't think you need a deal. I mean, a factory service. I think you're going to have factory service centers. But the idea of touching and feeling and being worked over by a salesperson, that model is going to go away.
It's going away quick.
There are people that argue with me on that and say, oh, no, car dealers are here forever.
Maybe used car dealers. I'm talking new models.
I don't know. I just don't know. Okay, let's talk. 303-713-TALK. Charles, what's going on?
Well, I've got a house that I inherited about 20 years ago from my father.
Yeah.
It's getting kind of run down and all. I don't want to put any money into it to get rid of it. It's got tenants in it now, and I've been getting some postcards from these places that say we'll buy your house.
Yeah, all of those, not one of them wants to pay a fair price. They want problems. They want to steal your house. That's what We Buy Houses is all about. I mean, I don't care what you say. You're never going to get top dollar doing that. You're going to get somebody who wants to try to scam you out of it sometimes, or get it for as little as possible, or get you to finance it, or any kind of weirdness. Now, do you have a loan on this house?
No.
Okay. Here's the deal. Charles, the easiest way to do it is to get someone who knows what they're doing. I don't know why people insist on doing, for sale by owner and all that, because it's not worth it in today's market. And I think I would always recommend Frank Duran, the real estate man. That's who I'm going to recommend. Call him and just list it and forget about it. Now, if you're asking, how do I price it? What do I go for? He can help you there too. If you don't want to pay commissions at all, if you want to save every dime, then put a for sale sign up and sell it. I mean, put a sign up or advertise it and see what happens. You can always get a transaction broker. Frank does that. He's so busy now. I don't know if he has time, but I think he does. Or a title company you can hire to close the deal. If you ever wanted to do a deal like that, you can get the buyer, go to somebody and say, here, write this up for us, and just pay a transaction fee. So what do you think that house is worth?
Oh, I'm saying somewhere between $270 and $300. I think it's on the tax rolls at $295.
In its current condition?
In its current condition, probably about $240.
Now, are you sure you're not underselling it? How many square feet?
It's about 1,700 square feet on the main level.
It's a ranch?
Yes.
So it has a basement?
Full finished basement.
Okay. And what part of town?
It's in Brighton.
Okay. So what did you have concerns about?
Well, it's had renters in it that have kind of not been kind to it. It needs some repairs.
Sure. And you can sell as is. You sell it as is. Or if you want to fix it up, here's the deal about fixing up homes, okay?
Yeah, I don't want to put anything into it to fix it.
Nothing.
Well, nothing really. I just had to put a water heater in it last week.
Then what you do is you need to put up a price that's pretty healthy, and then let people start chipping away at it based on the inspection report. That's the best way to do it. And don't fix it for them, but let them chip away at it. They feel like they got something of value, and they were able to work on the price. And again, you may think, you know what, I don't want to pay commission, and I'm saying that in today's market, even with this home is a little different, but with most homes you will get more money, and that commission that you pay will be, you won't even notice it. But here's another thing. Even if you sell it by yourself, a lot of people don't realize this. Nobody's going to go there unless with a broker, because the broker doesn't want to go there unless they know you're going to pay a commission. So you'll get a call from a broker who'll say, we have a buyer. If that happens, You do a single listing agreement. A single person agreement. You do not do a listing. Many will trick you and say, oh, I have somebody who wants to buy it, and you end up signing a listing agreement. But all you do is it's a single showing agreement saying, okay, you can show it and get a commission for this one customer, but you don't have to have a full listing agreement for them to show it to you. They may tell you that, but that's not true. So when that happens, just keep that in mind. If you sell it by yourself, you're still going to have to pay a commission if another broker brings a client there. You'll have to pay like probably 3%, 2.8, something like that. Or you can negotiate it. So, is your thing commission sensitive? Are you wanting not to pay commission?
Oh, I'm not worried about commission.
Then I would leave it in the hands. I would totally leave it in the hands of an expert. I'm serious. And Frank is the best I can think of. 303-920-1622, and he'll answer all of these little questions for you. But I think you're right when it comes to fixing up. By the way, Frank Duran, the realestateman.com, 303-920-1622. And let me explain something. If you fix up a home, only fix up the basics if you're going to fix it up, and I mean the very basics. But don't bother with worn out carpet, replacing the carpet, or with worn out floors unless you're going to do a remodel. You either do the basic repairs, like I'm talking about plumbing leaks and faucets and stuff, that's it, or a water heater, or a furnace, that's fine. But when it comes to decor, unless you're going to do a full remodel, don't do any, because it's not worth it. When you do it half-assed, people end up having to do it themselves. Most want to do it themselves. You will make more money if you list it for a healthy price, chip away at that price, and let people fix it up themselves, because they all have their own idea of what they want to see. Unless you're going to do it first class and do the whole thing. You see what I'm saying? And I don't mean expensive, but I mean the whole thing. Don't just do one thing or another, or add a deck, or finish a basement. Don't do it. You're wasting your money. You should either do a full remodel or nothing. And now I'm not talking about the defects. Of course, you have to take care of the water heaters, the furnace, and that kind of stuff. That does count for sure. And but replacing all the windows, no, no, you don't, unless you're going to do a full remodel. So keep that in mind. No little half-ass remodels. You will lose money on those. You won't recover them. People are going to want to do it themselves anyway. Okay, I also mentioned, by the way, the floor coverings, because when we were talking earlier to All About Bathrooms, and I talked about luxury vinyl tile, and somebody just emailed me and said, what? And I just want to re-mention that. Paradigm Interiors has more than that, but one of the things they do have is what I call luxury, not what I call, but the industry, LVT, luxury vinyl tile, and some of it, you can get some totally waterproof, great for spa rooms, for gyms, for the kitchens and baths, and it's a fraction of the cost of wood, and it looks beautiful. You can also get it to look like stone. Of course, they do all kinds of floor coverings. And they'll come to your home with samples if you want, or you can go to the store on Evans just west of Santa Fe. 303-630-9204, 630-9204. That's Paradigm Interiors, and you can find them on my referral list at referrallist.com.
One of the finest companies I know, Excel Roofing, the way they do business, the ownership and the management, from the top down, they believe in excellence. Hence the name Excel Roofing.
I don't know what prices are like in Brighton.
Never trick you into anything like signing a blank contract or saying we'll take care of it. When it comes to roofing, they believe you need to be fully informed about the contract with everything that needs to be done. And they will fight with your insurance company to get what you need if it comes to that. And then you don't pay a dime, not one dime, to get them on the job and to finish that job. Then,
that was important.
You're 100% happy. You pay. And by the way, they don't even have a cancellation.
Houses will go like crazy, but
earn your trust, your business, and your loyalty. That's Excel Roofing. 303-761-6400. Whether it be a repair or whether it be a major replacement, keep them in mind, especially with the storms coming. 303-761-6400. ExcelRoofing.com.
What'd you sign?
somebody said there's a contract. I asked them to see if they signed a contract, but I don't see it.
The We Love Manchester Emergency Fund with Manchester City Council and supported by Manchester Evening
That's
News.
45 minutes from here,
Funds
so
raised to supporting people who
30 minutes north of downtown.
The 1700 ranch was a full basement. Yeah, that's a pretty.
Yeah, you get to downtown in 30 minutes.
Yeah.
Hi, I'm consumer advocate
He's in
Tom
for
Martino.
240.
You've heard of debt consolidation. Is it a good
I don't understand this email, Suzanne. I don't understand all of this. One about the contract I signed. It has a bunch of maps.
Yeah, it's a Jim problem I'm getting a few emails on, so disregard it for now, but I was going to come in and explain it to you here in a minute.
Yeah, explain it to me. Yeah.
Give me just a second.
Saving well over $1,000 a month.
How much time do I have?
Can I have you stretch your debt out over 30 years?
3 minutes.
Of that savings back towards your home loan. You're going to be completely debt-free mortgage and all sooner rather than later. How do we get started? You can call it 303-867-7000 or apply online at Ideal Home.
Mark, did you just renovate a bathroom?
Call now 303-867-7000.
Yeah, we did our upstairs bathroom like
or idealhomeloans.com.
not very long ago, man.
By the Division of Real Estate.
Maybe 3 months ago, then we just finished our mud room up. Now we're on to, I don't know what the next thing's going to be, but something.
I'm renovating that downstairs. So I feel like a basement bathroom. Totally torn up. All the
Are you doing it?
I'm doing the downstairs, but it's in I mean, it's only a other bathroom. We have 2 bathrooms in the house, so I'm going to renovate that one just so I can decommission the one upstairs.
Yeah.
And that one I'm going to have.
Yeah, we basically did everything on the kids' bathroom. I mean, we hired like a different tile guy. I mean, we didn't like actually do it, but we didn't have like a general contractor. So, on the mudroom, we kind of did. We had one guy do everything. He did a great job.
Which is the one that you attempted to do a demo on?
Oh, shit, our bathroom upstairs, man. I had no idea how heavy an old tub was. I mean, my God, man.
How hard it is to raise it.
I hit that sucker. I thought I could shatter it with a sledge. And it was a mini sledge, like, you know, a big hammer, a mallet.
Then I had a hole in my kitchen ceiling.
Holy shit, did I hit it hard. That fucking tub didn't even budge, man.
Did it rain?
It sat out in front of our house until she made me get rid of it. How did we actually get rid of it?
We don't know, it just disappeared one day, remember?
Listen to this.
Do not steal on it.
I put $100 bills on it for the trash guy to take. They had 4 of them. They couldn't pick it up into the back of the trash, so they couldn't
Here's
take
the
it.
deal.
They'll take that because that's
Conditioning spot is a
they
gym
take
in
that for a
Greeley.
recycling plant.
They've
I
been
was right
deducting out of
there.
the accounts that they're missing.
They couldn't lift it into the truck.
And people will take it
The
for that.
amounts are still being deducted out of their accounts.
I don't know how they
They're being
would have
told they
picked it
have
up.
to go to a different gym now.
Our trash guy had
So
4
the deal
people,
is,
4 of
I
them
guess
couldn't
the
lift it into
contract
their
says,
truck.
and it's not the same owners or anything, the contract
I got
says
the
if
same
it's
thing in my
outside of
bathroom
5
upstairs.
miles,
I'm not moving it.
they don't have to move. I mean, it's really curious. I think we have a problem. There's
It wasn't
I
chipped up
don't
when I
have
hit it
the
with a hammer.
contract. She puts in there.
It was an old Kohler, probably. I figured the house was built in 01. So right about there.
Well, the contract
They
may
were doing
say
cast iron in Illinois.
that you agree to go to this spot.
My house is
and
built
if it
41.
closes, you agree to go to the
And,
other one.
and I'm sure that bathtub's been there since then.
Oh, mine. I mean, the house
So
was
should
built
I have
on
to get that before we do the
There's
call?
better
I
tubs.
see the
There's better
contract.
tubs.
I don't know.
There
There
sure he said this Kohler was stopping the line. They still sell
If
them.
it closes,
Not Kohler, but I
it
mean,
closes like
they
a
still
minus
sell
or-
cast iron if you want.
Like you have a maintenance agreement with this car.
They've got standalone tubs if you look at.
You still have a maintenance
You know, with
agreement.
pedestals.
You have to go somewhere else.
Now, you can drop $2 grand on
there are
a tub.
terms and conditions to that.
I mean, we
Okay.
never used it, but.
I'm Tom Martino. Tell a friend about a show that helps people free of charge. We love helping, and we recover millions of dollars we have over the years in cash, merchandise, exchanges, refunds, and services. There is no doubt we do it each and every day. And all you have to do is call us at 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. Joyce has a comment on gophers. Yeah, we talked about gophers earlier. They can ruin a lawn, how to get rid of them, whatever. What do you have to say?
Hi, Tom. How are you?
Good. What's going on?
We live in the country. We've had them for many years. We've had hundreds of dollars spent on exterminators and all kinds of stuff. Our neighbor came over one day and handed us this piece of PVC pipe with a metal cord in it. He said, dig it up, set the trap, stick it in there, cover it up, and within an hour we caught our first one.
But what is it?
Kills them. It's just a trap. We got it off of Amazon, but my mom and dad actually got some at Big R.
It's just a trap.
It's just a trap.
And what do you do when you get them?
It kills them. You just throw them in the trash. They're little. They're not any bigger than a field mouse.
Okay.
They're little. But we started
That's a
trapping
vole.
them. Well, no, it's a pocket gopher because we took it in and had it. They looked at it and said.
Well, Dan keeps saying it's bigger than that, but it doesn't. Dan, you're saying they're not?
No, their pocket gophers are much bigger than a little field mouse.
They're like rats, right? Right. So I don't know. It doesn't matter. I mean, you're saying you got rid of them, right?
We haven't had them in 2 years now.
So why didn't they come back? That's what I don't understand.
We thought we had hundreds of them, and the guy that was trying to exterminate them said we only had 5 or 6. We killed a total of 7.
Huh.
They make everything look
Poor
terrible.
pocket
They
gophers.
destroy it.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay,
They
well,
destroy
thanks.
everything.
And what's the name of the trap?
I don't know what it is, but I know if you go to Big R and just tell them what you need, they know exactly what you're looking for.
Okay, thanks a lot. I appreciate that. You know, we were talking about retail and how retail is going away or changing drastically, and high prices are going away and changing. I mean, there's such competition. The marketplace now is the world. It's no longer just around the corner. Do you think there are services that won't go that way? I mean, the internet's even changing plumbing, heating, cooling, electric, drains, housekeeping, everything. The internet's changing that. Not because you won't need someone to come to your home, but you're going to, you have at your disposal so many people available and reviews and all of that. It's just, everything has changed. Do you feel, Mark, that, do you feel that there will be a time when almost everything is bought online? I truly do. I think we're going to look at good old-fashioned retail as a joke.
Yeah, for the most part.
Like a general store. Remember we used to hear the general store. I don't know how it's going to happen, but you're going to have a way to touch and feel and all of that, and you may do a lot of it through virtual reality.
I buy almost, gosh, man, I think everything online. I'm trying to think, you know, with the exception of groceries. I mean, my clothes, my shoes.
Okay, if I'm somewhere and I need to clean the garage and I go to Home Depot to grab a squeegee, or I mean, yeah, obviously there are.
No, but in certain areas, and it's getting more and more areas, you got 1 hour delivery window. 2 hours in New York City with Amazon.
Come on.
Yeah, man. So then would you? I
don't know. It's weird. I don't know. You know, here's another thing. Think about 3D printing and how that changes things. I envision a time when you will have parts stores that are nothing more than 3D printers, where you put specs in for something and it's literally printed for you. It's fabricated before your eyes. I envision these big giant vaults like vending machines where you put a prescription in and your prescription is filled.
Yeah, they have stuff similar to that.
What? Not drugs right now.
No, in hospitals, and some of the newer hospitals, they got basically vending machines for the medications, the stuff that's given out all the time.
But I'm saying that I'll bet you, and again, you know, when I joke about pharmacists, I get all the hate mail in the world, you know, and you know, they're counting pills, right, or the colors and the shapes. I don't want to get into that right now. It was a joke, but I think you can train a machine to count pills and to put them in a bottle. I mean, I think you're going to have dispensing things like that. You will. You know, and they and we have people on our staff, our volunteers, that fly airplanes, right? Do you think there will be a time ever when there will be virtually no crew?
I tell you about this all the time. Dubai right now, they have taxis that jump from rooftop to rooftop. You just hop in and go. You and you only. The rest of it's all automated. I want to go to this building, hit the button, brings you over there.
And it's a drone.
It's a drone.
And you're sitting in it.
Yeah, you're sitting in it.
But that
it's a taxi.
It scares me because there's no, if the engine goes out, you're dead. There's no auto rotation capability in those
Same
drones.
with a helicopter. The engine goes out, you're dead.
That's not true.
Oh,
Suzanne, that's not true at all.
Okay.
Why would you say that? I mean, we would have so many dead people. I mean, do you think I would fly a
Do
helicopter?
helicopter engines fail that often that we would have so many dead people?
They don't fail hardly ever, ever.
If it locked up, he would drop like a rock.
It absolutely doesn't lock up.
I
It's
know.
made not to. I mean, yeah, and if a wing fall off, I mean, we could say stupid things all our lives, but the point is that they don't drop when you lose an engine. They simply do not do it.
I wonder
that giant rotor is a parachute. That's what that is. It actually has resistance as you're falling. The thing is, you have to know how to do it. But that's like, you know, the notion of a jet airliner. What happens if their engines fail? Well, you know, you hope you get to an airport, but emergency landings in an airline is really silly. Without an airport, the chances of a successful landing are so nil.
That guy landed in the Hudson.
Well, of course, but you know what? It was so rare. The point is, though, in those drones, there is absolutely no glide. I mean, you're dead. If those engines go out, and that bothers me because
they could have a parachute right in the middle.
If they have a parachute, it would be perfect. It would be a perfect vehicle. Perfect. If they could make drones that carry people with ballistic parachutes systems, where if the engines go out, you pop a chute and it floats. That
like
would be
a Cirrus.
But even the Cirrus, that's not a perfect system because, well, it's damn near. But a drone would be perfect because they're lightweight, they're even. You could have the chute come out from the middle. It would be wonderful if you could make drones that seat people. But the point is that I don't know if anyone would get in a plane knowing that there's no one flying.
They do right now.
They don't. What are you talking about?
In Dubai, they do right now. That's
airplanes.
Oh no, a drone.
I'm talking about if you're going to get in New York City, hop on a jet. And you know that's going to take off and land without a pilot. I don't know. It's a psychological thing.
That company's got to have skin in the game, in my brain.
But
they got to have a real employee sitting on that sucker.
There's technology today where that pilot could be sitting in a virtual cockpit flying that from anywhere. You could have 50 pilots lined up flying 50 jet aircraft and never see the planes. That technology exists. Doesn't it, Greg? Doesn't it exist right now? Right now.
Well, we have those, we bomb other countries with those things.
Do you think there'll be a time when we will have because you fly jets, do you think there'll be a time when a guy gets in his jet or a corporation uses a jet or an airline with no pilot?
Absolutely.
They're working that way, aren't they?
I think it's going to happen 5 to 10 years after the cars get figured out. And
it's way easier in airplanes because the airways are easier to follow and it's easier to glide, it's easier to land. It's a scary thought, but our world is changing way more than you could even imagine when they used to do the world's fairs would try to predict what tomorrow would look like. We have more coming right up.
Here's the one the Chinese company's making. Check it out. This was in Vegas last time.
Just say if my engine goes out, you're dead. I mean, Jesus Christ. I mean, could you imagine if helicopters, if they dropped out of the sky?
Here's what they're saying. They're saying,
yeah, but that has no auto.
You set a flight plan right through the thing there, and then all you do is say take off and land. That's it. That's all the consumer
What
does.
happens though with a failure?
I'm sure on those, at least before they get certified in the States, like, so that's got 4 propellers. It's going to have to fly on 3. And they'll have to be independently.
Or they'll have 6 and it's got to fly on 4.
There'll be some redundancy.
That would be good.
And you could pop up a... Well, really, because it's electric, most likely if one goes out, or you're saying if something hits
independently operated.
If something actually hit one of the props.
The philosophy in aircraft design is
redundancy.
Independent. Like it has to be.
Yeah, but if it's electric, what are you saying then? Would each
motor separate
have its own electric?
Yes. No, they have its own motor, not its own source of electricity, but its own motor.
Well, then what would the redundancy be in your battery? They'll have dual batteries. They would have dual batteries.
Well, batteries. You mean it have to explode? Having all the batteries fail wouldn't be a possibility at once. I mean, that part is, the electrical is easy to build in redundancy, but the motors, you wouldn't want one central motor with belts or drivetrains. That's where you get crazy. But, you know, truly, Greg, you know this, truly, your jet's not going to land it if you have an engine failure. Are you going to go to Warrenfield and successfully land? I mean, what are the chances?
But I also, I mean, the height is 200 miles. 200 miles in probably 20 minutes.
That's true. He does. He has 200 miles in 20 minutes.
What does that mean?
Glide.
From complete engine failure into
200-mile radius.
Shit. So unless you're out over the ocean, you're getting somewhere.
He'll find
45,000.
Won't you? But how many feet are you at with that?
45,000. Oh, 45. But you'll almost always find an airport, right?
Unless I'm in between here and Washington.
So you're saying if you got 200 miles, you're gonna find an airport.
Of course you are.
And you're gonna be able to land
any fucking airport.
With zero power.
But not an airline.
I mean, if I'm flying, so 99% of my planes over the United States, I'll find an airport within 10 miles. And then I'll spend 20 minutes doing checklists as I'm circling down.
You won't land on the Hudson just to have your own movie?
No.
But you're not going to land in a field. You know, off-airport landings, the chances of our off-airport landings really working is nil.
In a jet, it's ridiculous.
You're not talking survival. You're talking just
I'm talking about landing and living.
And walking away.
Right.
Oh.
Now airlines, big airlines, they have to find, they could land on a small airport. They could, even a small airport. Because if they run off the end, they don't give a shit. Because they can shut down their fuel and all that. So they have a lot of time, but I'll tell you, man, God almighty, the bigger they get, the harder it is.
How much, like a 747 or something, an Airbus, how many miles does that have at 45,000 feet?
Well, they can't get to 45, but it's very similar. I mean, they'll go to like 40, so they'll have 175 miles.
Yeah, but they drop faster, way faster.
Respiration, I think, is the fancy.
They don't glide like comfortable.
I think most jets will. I mean, none of them glide well, but when you're that high, you've got a lot of time.
Well, you got to keep, man. I got to tell you, you got to keep it cool if you're in that situation.
Now,
how about the one pilot that came on and said, "Pray for us"?
So different.
No, but in a small plane, you're not that high. You don't really have a lot of options. Now you can land in more places, but people fool themselves into thinking where they're going to land. You don't just get to land how you think you will. It's just weird.
That's like one of the first things I learned as a pilot is constantly thinking about
where you are.
Oh, that's a good place to land.
Well, we have the nearest. You have the nearest air. You know, the nearest airport. Big.
Well, no, when I was learning, we didn't have any.
I can hit a button and find the nearest airport. Boom, there it is. But that's why I feel in a helicopter, I look around and I only get a pucker factor when I'm over densely populated areas. That's fucked up. But anywhere else, there's always, because I have a radius like this, right? But there's
always a place for you to land.
Probably.
Hi, Tom Martino, your troubleshooter, 303-713-TALK, 303-713-8255. We're talking about your problems, questions, and complaints. Okay? Now, we're revisiting this problem with Mike. Can you explain it, Suzanne? She's on the line? Okay. I'm sorry, Mike. Suzanne said, I just wanted you to explain, Suzanne, the background on number 2, line 2. Do you remember it?
Oh, yes, and you will too. So Mike he called from the Springs. His daughter-in-law or son-in-law bought a vehicle down there. There was a bunch of problems with it. We had honest, accurate look at it.
It was purchased as is, and I remember him saying it was, you know, in other words, they didn't really do anything illegal. They overpaid for the vehicle. It sucked. But I said, in reality, there's not much we can do about it as is unless there was something fraudulent that they didn't disclose. Is that the one where he sent us stuff and we tried to figure out if there was anything that was fraudulent?
I think there was some safety issues if we go back.
Now that's another thing we said. There has to be basically safe, and even as is, because I remember it was as is, right, Mike? And they didn't get it checked out. So where do we stand on that? We brought it to honest, accurate?
Yeah, and if I recall, they said it was very unsafe, like the axle was falling out of it or something.
No, was this the same car, Mike? I don't know. Was that it, Mike?
No, there was problems with the brakes, something with the pinion rack and the steering. But we tried to get some of the warranty. They purchased an extended warranty with this vehicle.
Yeah, but Mark, this wasn't the one where
I got you.
This wasn't that really dangerous one. I remember which one you're talking about. Okay, so Mike, what ended up happening? Anything?
No, they just kept diddling around, and nothing ended up coming out. Leaf kept saying he was going to do something, and well, the warranty that they purchased is won't cover anything that's wrong with the vehicle. So,
what does the extended warranty cover?
It's supposed to cover. It's one of their highest plans that they got. It's supposed to cover the four-wheel drive system, engine, drivetrain, everything. But
well, what reason do they give you? What reason do they give you for not doing it? For not covering this?
They said the part's not covered.
Okay.
Underneath the, like, I don't know. We tried to cancel it out now, and we called the extended warranty company. The banks even that my daughter's got the loan through sent a letter telling the dealership to cancel out the warranty, and they're refusing to cancel out. They
can't refuse. They can't force you to keep that warranty.
On the contract, it says non-cancelable.
Well, that's been taken to court before, whether it says non-cancelable or not. I mean, if you've paid for something over a period of time and you're not going to use it, I'd like to see how they're going to make you keep it. But anyway, that's a separate issue. What did you pay for that warranty?
It was either $2,500 or $3,500, and what my daughter was wanting to do is because they've already had the brakes and stuff fixed on the car, they've already stuck about $2,500 more into the car out of cash out of their pocket to get the car to where they could drive it. And
what do they want?
What's that?
What do they want? Where are we going with this?
Well, they're wanting to cancel out the warranty because there's still another $2,500 worth of work, which that warranty will not cover. Engine lights and stuff that are on. And honest,
what dealer did you buy it from?
Pikes Peak Acura.
And they say they're not going to cancel the warranty, right?
And the warranty says it's non-refundable, just so you know, Tom.
I understand that. Do you have a copy of it? Do we have a copy of it?
I don't.
I'd like to have them send it to us, and maybe we'll contact this dealer. Listen, we've had cases like this before, and I don't think they're allowed to be non-cancelable. Hold on.
This has gone to court, and the Attorney General has even went after these warranties that are lengthy warranties, and they no longer need them. I don't think you can make them non-cancelable.
Look at this one. Look at this drone here, man. Let me see. Look at the amount of props on it.
Yeah, but not. Yeah, that's good. But can they fly with just a few of them? That would be all right. That would be good if they could fly with just.
They said this thing's so easy to fly.
Well, of course there is. No, anyone can fly those. There's no torque. There's nothing except up and down.
Volocopter.
I mean, think about it. There's nothing but up and down. Look at that. What a nice, even.
God, how many props is there? Because the footprints can't even count it. There's so many. The Volocopter.
That's nice. How many seats?
It's kind of huge, though. I mean, I think that's a little large.
Yeah, that's a lot of.
I wonder why they designed it that way.
For the
any one of them went.
Man, you could probably lose half of them. Huh?
Big hangar to put it in, though. Huh?
Yeah, that top thing is really weird.
Once it folds up.
You know, you could actually take mine, reverse engineer it, and then just build it bigger, and you would have it on the fly.
But there's no doubt, Mark. But the thing is you won't fly on 3 of those.
Yeah, you got to get certified. What are the chances of mine crashing to the ground, though? It seems to me almost next to nothing. It just seems next to nothing.
It's the same as the airliner or.
Well, those jet engines hardly ever fail, ever. But the problem is they do fail. But
Marine Corps investigators
and we got
a transport tanker aircraft that crashed
12,000 hours on our airplane.
Started having
so 24,000 on the engines, like between the two. Never had one.
Jet engines fail probably less than 1/10 of 1%. Probably. That's because there's nothing in it.
You mean a true, yeah, but not like a bird flying into them. You're talking failing on their own.
Right. They don't fail, but they do fail. That's the thing. You have to plan for it if they do. The drones scare the shit out of me only because, like, if you build one like yours, if one of those go out, if it could fly on 3, yes, but if it can't, you're screwed. Or
if you got a parachute, though.
Now that would be perfect.
It's cheap. It's a lot cheaper than engineering redundancy into it.
Right, or a helicopter. You know what? If you could make a drone with a ballistic parachute, so it shoots out, so if you're low, it still gets you a parachute. It's got to shoot out, get you a canopy. That is the most perfect deal. You don't even have to learn to fly. He could fly because he knows how to fly a drone. Really, all it would be is a fucking video game for kids. You can fly anything.
What about an automatic auto-rotate? Do you have enough momentum? In a drone, do you have enough momentum to auto-rotate?
No, they're too small. The disc.
And 2 things. We have an update for the guy with the New York radio station on 6.
Okay. Did we call this?
Staff worked on it. And then Amira with the gym contract, you wanted to see that? They won't give her one. The new place won't give her. She said it's been 4 years. I just don't have a copy of what I signed it anymore.
Well, then she's going to have to stop payment on her banking account. They won't stop her banking.
I don't know that, but what's curious is I've gotten 2 emails on this.
All right. So, you know what? Because that auto shit is weird. That auto.
I don't put anything on auto pay for my bank account.
I put on auto pay if I initiate it on my account so I can withdraw it. I don't let them go in and take it.
Yeah. What did he say? Does he need to send a contract? Yeah. He said that he just isn't necessary. Oh, okay. So we'll have that Mike, the follow-up guy that with the car, the service contract, he's going to have to get us that later.
Yeah, and I got to tell you something. I've never heard of one being non-cancelable.
I need somebody. Now, Tom Martino on 630 KHOW.
Hi, I'm Tom Martino, your troubleshooter. Welcome to the show, the only show of its kind anywhere. We are here helping you to solve problems. We're answering questions and taking complaints. Without further ado, let me get to this one problem where someone was so pissed off they bought a car as is and the extended warranty covers hardly anything. Nothing. I always tell you, buying a used car extended warranty is useless. Anyway, Mike did it, and Mike needs to get a copy of it because they want to cancel it, and supposedly it's non-cancelable. Now, I remember, and I don't recall it like the case, but there has been common law where non-cancelable warranties are canceled because it's unjust enrichment and it's all of that. Because you are not benefiting from it, and if you cancel it or sell the car is wrecked, you should be able to prorate and get a refund on an extended warranty. Now, this has been the way it has been. I don't know if anything's changed, but as far as I know, you can't make a warranty non-cancelable or non-refundable. And if that's the case, people, that's even more reason never, ever, ever to buy one. So we're going to check into that. He's going to get us a copy of it, and we're going to research it. Meanwhile, we're talking about this other situation with a health club where the one closed and the auto payments kept coming out of the account. And Amira says, why am I having money taken out of my account if the health club closed? How much was being taken out, Amira, or how much is being taken out?
$55.
And the health club closed, right?
Correct.
Now, they're telling you probably by contract you're forced to go to another health club, an affiliated health club, right?
Actually, nobody told me anything or contacted me in any way, shape, or form.
They just kept taking the money. But when you contacted them, that's their excuse, right?
Yeah, I was told that Greeley Health and Fitness had now taken over all of the memberships, even without our consent, and that they were the ones that were billing us.
Well, they can't do that unless it's in your original contract. That original contract is possibly assignable. But even if it was an original contract, okay, here's what I want to know. They can't make a contract in perpetuity, so is it yearly?
The last time I signed a piece of paper with that gym was probably 2 to 3 years ago.
Well, I don't see how they can automatically take money out of your account. I don't think they can. First of all, you're not allowed to sign a contract that goes in perpetuity. They have to give you a chance to renew or to cancel, okay? So they can't just keep doing it. That's the first problem for them. The second problem for them is they can't automatically assign it unless it's in the original contract. I think that they're just doing it and hoping that you're not going to fight them. But why don't you simply stop the auto payment?
No, I did that. Now it's not just me, it's every single member in that gym and the owner of the
Well, what do you mean?
Gym.
You stop the payment, so what's the problem? Go somewhere else.
No, I am going to go somewhere
Okay,
else. But
so
the owner told me that they're going to continue to try to hit my account because it's
well,
like
here's
go
what
in
you have.
and have a
Here's what you have to do, and this is the problem with banks. Banks almost encourage people to do auto payments, and banks are on the side of the people taking the money. If you go to your bank, they're going to say to you that they can't guarantee they can stop this every time, right? So here's what you have to do, and it's unfortunate, but I'm going to tell you the only way to do it. We've had to do it here at Troubleshooter Network with a credit card because somebody claimed they had a contract and they didn't. And here's the problem. If you have an account at that bank, you have to close it, and you literally have to move banks. You can't even have the same bank. Because if you open up a brand new account with a new account number and everything, they will claim a cross-collateralization, the bank will. And if somebody tries to tap an old account that you have, they will go into your new account. It's called cross-collateralization. So what you need to do is literally leave the bank. And here's why. Banks don't have a mechanism to stop auto payments. They don't. And that's the problem. They can stop one if you warn them, but then all they have to do is alter the amount and they can get the next one through. Or
but then will it affect my credit if
well,
this gym is
if this gym claims that you're not paying a bill, yes, they will try to hurt your credit, and you have to fight back. Listen, it happens all the time. There's a dispute, and these people, instead of taking it to court, they try to put a problem on your credit, a mar on your credit, hoping that that'll make you pay. But so what? If you get a mark on your credit, you fight it. You got to fight it. You have to protest it, and you have to, or you actually sue them for slander of credit, because they're not supposed to say things that are not true on your credit report. Here's another thing. The credit reporting agencies themselves, they don't give a damn. They'll put anything anybody wants on your credit report. They will not, they don't care about accuracy. Even if they're supposed to look at proof, they don't. They don't verify. Verification to them is simply asking the creditor, is this accurate? And the creditor says yes. That's what they call verification. The whole credit reporting system sucks for the consumer. It absolutely sucks. So here's what I want to tell you to do. You close your account. You move to another bank. I'm sorry, but that's what you have to do. And then be done with them. And if they say to you, we're suing you, you make them show you the contract. We had a company literally trying to get money from us. It's a very big national company. They didn't have a contract. And they were pressing the issue until finally we made them show a contract, and it had expired years ago. I know that that's the case as well. That's why he refuses to. That's exactly right. So you're not going to. What you're going to do is simply cut them off and not pay them. And when they push it, you say, "I want to see the contract," and they have to show you the contract if they're going to take you to court, because you're going to demand it. If they do a court date, you better show up, and you better respond saying you want to subpoena the copy of the contract. Here's the other thing, okay? These people bluff, but they may put in something with the credit report, and that's where you have to fight and keep records and ask, and what you claim with the credit reporting agency is that you have no current contract whatsoever. And if they can't show a contract and the credit reporting agency keeps it on there, I'm telling you, if you're serious enough to take it to court, you can make a lot of money for damages. People don't do it. They don't do it, but they can. If more people sued credit reporting agencies and credit furnishers or creditors, less of this would happen. The problem is most people don't do it. So it seems to me that these people are just trying to take as much money as possible and intimidate you guys. So I wouldn't put up with it for a minute. How many 55s did he get before you stopped it?
No, this is the gym just closed on the 30th of
Excellent, excellent.
And Tom,
Yes.
this is not the only person that's reached out to us for this problem.
Well, they better all do the same. Stop payment. Now, if you do have a current account, let's say a current account, and it doesn't expire until the end of the year, and if that contract allows them to assign it to someone, and they're following the contract, then you need to pay them, or, you know, that's a different issue. Right, Mark? Assignability.
If you just ask them, though, how do I end this membership, what do they say? They got to say something.
What do
30-day notice, what?
What do they say?
He keeps telling me that I have to go in there, make an appointment, and have a sit-down conversation with him.
Yeah, because he wants to try to convince you to stay.
Yeah.
Well, somehow in that contract,
he sounds like a
say
creep.
you have to give notice.
What's the name of this place? Boy, this guy sounds like a creep. What's the name of the place?
Greeley Health and Fitness.
Greeley Health and Fitness. What a way to influence people, huh?
Yeah.
He's going to get a bad reputation. Is this Greeley Health and Fitness new?
No. He's been there probably for maybe 2-3 years now.
Okay. And he supposedly took over for the other guy.
No, he didn't say that they took over in any way. He said that he thinks that the way he keeps wording it is as if he's doing us a favor, that he's honoring the memberships that we had and the prices that we had at that previous gym.
Because, Tom, the charges are still on her bank account. They're still coming out of the old gyms. It's references the old gyms, not the new.
Why did you send this map to us?
Okay, because he told the fraud department of the Greeley Police Department that in our contract it said that if the gym is less than 5 miles away, that they have the right to merge them. And
Now, hold on. It might be possible. There might be something in your contract that says that upon closing of the gym or changing or whatever, that you agree to have it transferred to a gym not farther than 5 miles. But even in that case, I don't think you, personally, in your case, you have a current contract if the last thing you signed was 3 years ago. I don't see how you could, because I think health club contracts in Colorado are limited to 2 years. They're not allowed to get you for lifetime memberships. They used to do that to people. You can't have a contract going on to perpetuity.
No, but it could just simply say you got to give 30 days notice.
Well, month to month, yes, absolutely. It could be a month-to-month contract that after the first year it goes month to month, and then you have to give 30 days notice. That's right. So technically, there might be a 30-day notice clause in yours, in which case that he could get you for 1 month. But no matter what, I think the guy is just trying to BS people. That's what I think. And Greeley Health and Fitness I'll tell you, that's not the way to do business. You don't just keep taking money out and hoping people aren't going to complain. But that's exactly what it sounds like he's doing. Let's talk to Patrick. Patrick, he called us and said, and he's in New York, and he said he won a new $500 from a New York radio station. He had emails to prove it, but they would not send him the money, and we said we'd look into it for you. What happened, Patrick?
From the start, you want to hear it?
Well, yeah, some of it. You can be brief and
yeah, of course. I know you guys don't have too much time. Briefly, on Good Friday, I won. Luckily, I won $500. All I had to do was call in, and then May 8th, they sent a confirmation because I emailed them asking if they had received my W-9 form with my Social Security, and since then I've been calling them. I mean, weekly, and every single time they'll say they'll transfer me over to somebody else, they hang up on me.
Yeah, so you are very frustrated with this FM station. We called out there. Didn't Deputy Daphne work on it?
Of course, Tom.
Did she talk to you at all, Patrick, Deputy Daphne?
Who's this? No.
Somebody from our staff, she didn't talk to you?
Oh yeah, she talked to me very little, though.
Okay, good. She got all the information from you. What happened, Suzanne?
The AP department at MS Communications, I guess that's who owns the station.
It's an MS radio station. They're a legit company.
So this is what they say. We were able to get down to some of the logistics here. There was an administrative error in the department. We have all the paperwork and will proceed to process the check. He should have it within a week's time.
Okay, so now here's what we do, Patrick. Now we keep track of this because we have an email definitely saying from MS, and that's a major communications company, not quite as major as us at iHeart, but it's a big company, and they say you're going to have it within a week.
Thank you.
Now, I want you to keep us informed one way or the other. So let's plan on meeting back midweek next week. Call us back, or if you get it sooner.
Yeah, I'll give you guys a call, let's say, next Thursday.
Cool.
Next
That would be great. Thank you very much, Patrick. Glad that you were able to get some help. And people find out about us on downloads or on podcasts. We're live on Facebook, live on YouTube, live around the country, as well as, of course, our affiliate in the Springs. Then we have, of course, KHOW, our flagship, KHOW. Morgan wants to just let loose on RTD. What is going on?
Hi, thanks for taking my call.
Yes, Morgan, you're upset about something.
Well, I called it a rant because I don't know that anyone cares or can do anything about it, but there are about 4 places where those A-line tracks intersect surface streets on the north side of Denver.
Okay.
And there's got to be some kind of computer malfunction, or I don't know.
Why?
But at each intersection, there have been, since the opening, 2 employees of, I'm assuming RTD, there 24 hours a day, 2 guys at each intersection, because either the lights don't work or the barricade arms that go up
there's a
and down.
technical problem. They've talked about this on numerous news outlets.
Right, there's a big problem? Big problem.
Yeah.
I don't know how big it is, but it's definitely an issue.
There's 1 guy for each direction of traffic. They're sitting
How
in
long?
lawn
How many
chairs.
times has this happened to you?
Well, they're there 24 hours a day since it's opened.
What? So for how long?
Well, it opened in April of 2016.
Oh, come on. This has been going on that long?
Yes.
All right, hold on a second. Just hold on. We'll come back to this. I didn't realize it was that long, for goodness sakes. That's crazy. Hey, speaking of crazy, trying to keep track of the interest rates right now, you'll go nuts if you try to do it, but you know what's great about Ideal Home Loans? You don't have to keep track of anything, because if you finance with them or refinance with them, in other words, you purchase or you buy a home or you refinance your home with Ideal Home Loans, you will get an interest rate guarantee for the next 2 years. If rates go down by just 0.75%, they'll refinance you free of all lender fees. Think about that. No risk now. You can take advantage of the savings and not have to pay those other costs again. And they also have credit optimization. You know, there's approval, and then there is credit optimization. Even though you're approved, like with another mortgage company, they would just write the loan. At Ideal Home Loans, they go a step further and see if they can enhance your credit to get you even better pricing. Then they have custom term loans, which mean you can alter your loan for any length of time you want. So you may want to get the low rate but not go back to 30 years. So you can have a 23-year loan, 26-year loan, 17-year loan. Just do what you want at Ideal Home Loans for your next Ideal Home Loan, 303-867-7000, 303-867-7000, or idealhomeloans.com. And speaking of loans, I talk about reverse mortgages. Well, there's a company that I trust, because they're risky loans. Yeah, it could eat up the equity in your home if you're not smart. Or if you're not old enough, you may want to take out very little. And if you're older, you may want to take out more. There's all kinds of things to think about with reverse mortgages. They're great retirement tools for some, not made for everyone. If you're 62 or older with equity, approvalreverse.com, 303-771-3528.
This report is brought to you by Lifeline. There are some improvements on the drive.
Well, I don't know. $6 million. As of April 17th, it was $6 million.
But here's the deal. So it's Positive Train Control is having an issue with the crossing gate software every time. Well, I don't know every time.
Don't you think they could do a Wi-Fi sensor and stuff? They could,
no, it's totally legit, because trains are kind of new,
The new trains have to have that software.
Some could be heavy.
Like 100-year-old technology.
Holy cow!
Well, the new ones they're doing now run on steam.
That's crazy.
Well, LifeLock can actually see threats to your identity.
What about that job? Is that a boring job or is that a boring job?
You will log on.
Okay.
Okay. Go to lifelock.com.
There are just some things you cannot do on your own. If you get hurt in a car accident or somewhere else or some other way, and it's someone else's fault, don't try to fight with those other insurance companies or with the other people, and then after you fight, try to collect. It's just something we're not equipped to do. John Fuller is. Fuller Law. John Fuller is fully versed in personal injury law, which, by the way, includes several different areas of law. You have to know about economic losses and actual losses, and you have to know about pain and suffering, and then you have to know where to collect and what they have and how to find it and who's negligent and why. There may be more than one party. John Fuller is equipped to do this at no upfront cost to you whatsoever and no obligation for a consultation. If you do decide to hire John Fuller, you will get the communication you deserve, you will feel like you're being taken care of, and you only have to pay legal fees if he collects a percentage of that. 303-597-4500, 303-597-4500. The website is personalinjuryco.com.
How do you make sure you get the lowest rates for either a refinance or purchase, or getting the right loan for you and not the one they want to
solve? They just need the final. 4 months ago.
Yeah. And then apparently the RTD union suing them because it's taking those jobs away. I can see that happening. Do you know the train unions, even though the caboose hasn't really been used for years and years?
Keep cash out for that home improvement.
Okay, 20
I
years
had
ago.
coffee in one not long ago. In a caboose, they turned it into a coffee shop.
No, but they kept even though the guy in the caboose wasn't doing any job anymore, they kept him for like 50 years because the unions, train unions, kept the guy in the caboose.
This is all fake news.
Let's try to get That's absolutely true. Absolutely true.
I got a buddy of mine that has a place up in Jefferson, and he has a caboose on the property.
What, sir?
Is he going to pay the union for the guy in there?
Okay, BioT.
Collaborate, and keep their brains sharp over vacation. Every young person deserves well-funded summer programs with great resources. Help to keep kids learning safe and healthy this summer so they succeed in the school year. Learn how.
You want to see my BioT thing? No. I just threatened to show these guys my
testosterone implant. You know, the pellet therapy I talk about. They didn't want to see. Anyway, it goes in the fatty part of your hip, they say, or your buttocks, or your arm, or thigh. I'm serious when I talk about this now. I see so many people who are, you know, middle age or more, and this can happen to you in your 40s. And people are just not feeling right. They're just tired, and they have no libido, and they're not enjoying life. And I say, get your hormones checked and then optimized. Why people don't do this, it's befuddling. Why don't you just replenish what nature meant you to have? It's so logical. And you know what? When you do, BioT Medical will change your life because of their delivery system, which is the most natural. They take a look at testosterone, estrogen, and men need a certain amount of estrogen. And they take a look at thyroid, and they optimize these for optimum health and performance. I have never felt better than with BioT Medical. I urge you to go onto the website and read about it and find a provider at biotmedical.com. You only need this therapy like maybe 2 to 3 times a year. Because of these pellets, they slowly dissolve in your system. So if you're really active, you do it more often. If you're not, it stays longer. It's what you need to fight the bulge, to fight the fat, to get more energy, to get your libido back, and to enjoy life. It's that simple. biotmedical.com.
Congratulations to Sean Hannity, the newest inductee into the National Radio Hall of Fame.
I'll be honest, I was stunned.
Hear him early afternoons at 1.
Thank you. I'm Tom Martino. With Mark Major, we are fighting crime for you. The kind of crime you can't get help for. Consumer crime. I'm serious. You try calling somebody about an injustice, a police department, a district attorney. It is so difficult. So let's talk about it. Morgan says since they opened, they haven't been able to get these crossings right.
Well, sometimes they seem right, but they still have these guys out there who stand up like crossing guards, and they hold up their stop sign, and then they go sit back down, to the point where they've even delivered...
For a year or more.
It's been over that.
Like 15 months. And they've even, like, delivered porta potties there.
Here's the deal. They have these challenges with the crossing software that the gates operate on, and then the positive train control, which you have to have nowadays on a new train. So... that was their fix. They had to put some people out there, or they couldn't run the line.
So now what do they do?
Well,
is there a fix?
It sounds like now the feds and the state have to sign off that the problem's been fixed, but they have to sign off on it.
Wait, that it's been fixed, meaning that having people out there is the fix?
No. That they actually fixed it, but I guess the state and the feds have to sign off on pulling the people.
So, Morgan, what was the purpose, and I don't mean this in a slight, I just mean, what is the purpose of your call? Did you just want to rant about it? Are you pissed off about it? What's going on?
Well, I'm looking at 8 guys 24 hours a day, probably over $1 million since it's been open.
No, they actually had an estimate. What was it, Deputy Dan, you said? The amount, or Craig, what did you say?
I read $6 million.
$6 million? Holy
that was as of April.
Crap! Well, you're right, Morgan. You're right, Morgan. Let's see how long this goes on. People need to let them know. You know, RTD, of course, is a government unto itself. That's the problem. They're a little district all unto themselves. Let's talk to Mary. Mary, who is quite contrary about something going on at work. What is going on at work?
Well, I work for an independent contractor. He has about 9 employees, and we all get paid salaries. We get paid once a week, and I've been with him for about 8 months, and I get a check every week. Now he's going to have H&R Block do his payroll, and he's offered us direct deposit.
H&R Block does payroll?
I know, isn't it bizarre?
Wow.
So anyway, my check last week was short $18. So I asked my boss, why is this short? And he said, you need to talk to the accountant. So I talked to her this morning, this lady at H&R Block, and she says, something with the deductions has changed. I said, no, it hasn't. I claimed 0.
How short are we talking here?
Well, it's $18 a week, but it adds up.
Well, it sure does. $18 a week is a lot.
But what I wanted to know is, can they charge a servicing fee for direct deposit?
Well, first of all, is this $18? Is this $18 for that?
I don't know. And my boss doesn't even tell me. He's kind of, I don't know.
Okay, so listen. You're being charged, let's say you are being charged $18 for a direct deposit. You're asking, are they allowed to do it? Yeah. Well, that depends. For example, if you have an agreement that says you'll pay it, then you'll pay it. But
they never told me anything.
What they can't do is this. They can't force you to do direct deposit and then charge you for it. But I imagine that there's nothing wrong with saying to you, Mary, here's your paycheck, and you say, I want it direct deposited, and they say, well, then we're going to charge you for it. I don't think you can force them to do it, and I don't think they can force you to do it.
Okay, so then she said to me, I said, well, you know what, this week I just want him to cut me a check. I don't want direct deposit this week. And she said, well, you'll still get that less $18 on your check anyway. I said, why?
So why?
Yeah.
Well, that makes no sense. First of all, Mary, you haven't told me for sure that the $18 is for auto deposit. You haven't said that.
Well, according to my boss and according to H&R Block, she said it was not for that. She said that a mistake has been made in the calculation of your deduction, which is wrong.
Well, listen, Well, then you're asking me all kinds of questions. You're not really asking me if they can do it for direct deposit.
Well,
you're saying
yeah,
even if you
questions.
Right. Well, first of all, are they allowed to take $18 out of your account, out of your paycheck for no reason? No. Okay? No, they're not. So you have to fight it. They're not allowed to take $18. There has to be a reason for the $18. If it's for direct deposit, then they have to give you the option of getting your check. They can't force you to spend money with them, but I don't think it would be wrong for them to charge you for that. I don't think, you know, so we're all on the same page. What I think what your homework is find out what it is. And if you don't know what it is, then literally you're going to have to go, honest to God, to the Labor Department, and you're going to have to ask for that $18 to be put back and given back to you, replenished for how many weeks they're taking it. And the Labor Department will look at it as a pay decrease. So you have to do that. I mean, there has to be a reason. I can't believe it just happened and they don't know why. I mean, that's ridiculous. That's totally ridiculous.
Something's fishy about it.
That's right.
Also, the fact that I work salary and I work at least 50 hours a week.
Well, that's a whole different issue if you want to talk about that. Are other people upset with this $18?
Well, no, I mean, he made a mistake with 2 other people. He's got 9 employees. There's 2 others that have mistakes since this direct deposit went through last week.
Okay, do you think it's just a few people, or do you think there's more? I'd like to, is it system-wide? Is it because of H&R Block?
I don't know.
It could be.
I'll investigate this
All right,
more.
and call us. We have a brilliant employment attorney, and we'll get you free legal advice if you call us back with more details. But that's what we need, more details. Hey, Jimmy, you want to complain about your emergency room bill. Is this with a hospital or one of those emergency rooms that are satellites? Jimmy, are you there? Jimmy's not there. So let's talk about Aurora Orthodontics and TMJ. Why? Because this is something that is almost too good to be true. I'm serious. You know, I was looking around for, dentistry and different kinds of dentistry for straight teeth. And when I remember the pricing, it was around $50,000 or $60,000 to get veneers. Do you know that? Like just for the front, what they call the rack, it'll cost you $20,000. It's expensive. So I heard about Dr. Kent Lawson, the new orthodontics. Do you know what he does? He does your smile naturally, like the kids did with braces, but he does it without extractions and without surgeries. He has proven that even as an adult, you can have your palate widened. And when it widens to where it's supposed to be, and your jaw is in alignment, your teeth naturally fall into place and straighten out. Now, you do need help toward the end with braces. And those are Invisalign. So together, the entire process is only 2 years. But get this, it's a fraction of the cost, just a tiny fraction of the cost of those dozens of thousands of dollars for veneers. And not only that, you get a beautiful smile, it's natural, and you also can clear up TMJ and sleep apneas as a result of straightening out your mouth. Call Aurora Orthodontics and TMJ. Find out about the new orthodontics. By the way, they have similar methods, even better when it comes to kids, because kids can bypass braces altogether if you get them early enough. Give them a call, 303-690-0100. Whether kids or adults, ask about the new orthodontics. 303-690-0100.
This report is brought to you by Lifeline.
I-25, slow downtown in those typical spots starting...
How much time do I have?
Minute and a half, but I can make it 2.5. Go.
A tank car placard that is labeled radioactive must comply with train positioning requirements of paragraph D of this section and must be separated from a locomotive, an occupied caboose, or a carload with that placard on it. So you have to have an occupied caboose if you're hauling nuclear waste.
Okay, well, I'm saying...
So there you go. You were totally wrong. Lunch.
I'm not wrong, because the unions is what they kept it as safety for that. Now, what you're talking about, that's the hazardous thing, is a total separate thing. I'm saying they kept cabooses. Back in the day, the caboose was the...
Not according to these folks. Here's what they say when I put in, why did they get rid of cabooses? Why trains don't have cabooses anymore?
They say it is a safety thing.
This guy did an actual...
If they were totally, the guy just sat in
Well,
there.
they would cook in there, they would check, make sure the load didn't shift. They would. They also said the engineers would use it as an office.
That was way back in the day and stuff.
Yeah.
No, when you say the engineer's in front of the train.
They would also brake.
But that was all old time. Hey, what was he mean by green border? I don't know what he means.
If you're over 40 and concerned,
Oh, maybe on the site itself. Go to referral list and see if
concerned about your
his banner has a green. I didn't think of that.
Flexibility. What about fine lines and wrinkles? Well, if
You
you
know,
answered yes,
I have a problem with
these
Craig.
questions, we want to send you
Craig.
a free bottle of the
I never,
ultimate
ever
HA formula.
I
The
just-
ultimate HA
those names
secret is
confuse me.
hyaluronic acid. HA works.
I never know if it's
like
Craig or Greg.
All right, let's do Joe Lazera and 30.
And that train at the zoo, guess what?
You try ultimate
Has to have a caboose operator in case kids try to jump out. He's trying to tell me cabooses are gone.
No, they're not.
You mean, what was the purpose of a caboose? Brakeman originally.
Brakeman, office, they did paperwork, that's, and then the unions got a hold of it. Union training unions were pro.
32. One last time, 1-800-218-9032.
All right, let's talk about criminal defense. It's something that none of you want to think about. Come on, we never think we need it, right? Yet you go out and you have a few drinks, all of a sudden you're stopped for something, and guess what? You're popped for DUI. Yeah, a lot of people that get DUIs, they're not intentional drunks. They don't think they're even drunk. Sometimes you get DWAI, which is just as bad. It's like under the influence. And then with marijuana, just as bad. This whole thing is going to turn your life upside down. You can't go through it alone. You're going to need help. If you know anyone who has a DUI and they need help, call Joe Lazera. Now, in some rare cases, you're falsely accused or your rights were violated. Look, we're not trying to make excuses for drinking and driving. You should never do it. Get a designated driver or take public transportation or Uber or Lyft. But if you are in trouble, you need help. You really do. This is not a system you can get through yourself. 303-429-6200. 303-429-6200. Joseph Lazera. You can find him on my referral list at referralist.com.
If you like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter at 630KHOW.
An iHeartRadio station.
Hi, Tom Martino, your troubleshooter. Here I am working my butt off trying to put on a great show, really trying to solve problems behind the scenes with Suzanne and with Allie. And I got these two guys over here, Mark and Deputy Dan, arguing.
What are they arguing about?
About whether cabooses are needed anymore on a train.
Okay.
Mark is saying, yes, cabooses are all around or needed. And
I'm saying they're everywhere still.
And Dan's saying they have no use. And I'm literally listening to an argument about cabooses. So, we have a comment about payroll deductions. Greg, what did you want to say about that? Because this woman wanted to know why all of a sudden her pay was deducted $18. And then another question was, what if it was for direct deposit? Could he charge for it? Blah, blah, blah. So what is your comment?
Hey, Tom, I got to comment on this. I also got a comment on an ASAP roofing that you guys have been dealing with. The one here with their payroll, she should be getting a payroll stub each week showing what deductions are taken out for how much.
Of course. You know, you're right. But apparently it's not on there, or it doesn't make sense to her.
Well, she has to do the math, add up what she's supposed to be paid, and subtract what they take out, and that's what she should be getting.
Yeah, he's right.
Why didn't I ask her that? Do you still have her number? Is she still listening? Why didn't I ask her that? What did the stub say? You're right, Greg. I mean, that's a silly thing. I should have asked. Right?
Hey, and then ASAP roofing.
Yeah.
you got that guy being sued by that company for a 33% cancellation fee. Well, there's nothing on the contract.
Wait, was this something you took, Mark?
Yeah, it's funny.
What happened?
The contract says there's a 33% cancellation fee, but if you look at the amount, they didn't actually fill an amount, which makes it most likely not a valid contract in Colorado. But on top of that, even if they said, okay, because he put its insurance stuff in there, the cancellation amount would be 33% of nothing.
Right.
Right.
Tom?
Yes.
Hey, Mark, can you go ahead and sue them to do the deal since they're
for zero?
Which is zero.
Well, what did they say? Well, they didn't put down zeros.
Now, the guy was an old guy, too, man, up in his 70s, maybe 80s. They snookered him. They came out. They said, hey, we'll give you a free roof inspection. Sign here for liability. He ended up signing the contract. 4 or 5 days goes by, past the 3 days, and he says, I want out. They didn't order anything. They didn't do anything. They don't call us back. They don't do anything. But I don't think it's a valid contract.
No. Are they trying to collect from the poor guy?
They have not tried to collect.
All right. Well,
they were going to put a lien on his house. They sent him a letter and said...
Well, let's see if they actually tried to do that.
Correct.
You know, why do people have to be scumbags about it? There's enough business to go around. Why are they such scumbags in the roofing industry especially? God, what a bunch of lowlifes.
You know what I say?
What?
Don't pay a cent
until you're content. You're borrowing that from Jay at Excel Roofing. And by the way, speaking of roofers and storm damage and all that, Flexident, I just want to tell you, people have been calling me, and I need to tell you that they have appointments available because they have some extra locations now. They have multiple convenient locations. The reason I'm mentioning it now is because I just got this email, and they can't get in. You don't ever have to worry about that. If you need an appointment, they will make appointments. But you can also call them, and they'll tell you where they're located to drop by either way. They ask that you go to your insurance company first, though, and just then go see them, because no matter what, the money that you get is probably for conventional repair, and you're going to save money and maybe have some money for your pocket. 303-619-6273. 303-619-6273. Chris has a comment on cabooses. Go ahead, Chris. What's your comment?
Yeah, I wanted to ask Mark first. Does he know what caboose was for?
I asked the same thing, and they told me.
Yep, braking, making sure the loads aren't shifting. At one point, they'd use them for kitchens and even the office for the engineer.
Okay, well, usually trains back in the day when they were manual track lines. In other words, the guy had to get out and literally switch it over, and then the engineer in the front of the train would move the train, stop the train, and then the guy that was the engineer that does all the track work gets in the caboose, and that's...
Here's what the actual argument is, though. Hold on, this is insane. You missed this. Dan was saying the reason the caboose has been around roughly the last 50 years was purely, go ahead, Dan, tell
the union, right?
Because of the union.
The union kept them there, even though there was zero to do. No one needed to be on them. They didn't need to be there. The union fought to keep them for the one guy's job in the back.
Well, that's interesting, but now that everything's modified and automatic, you don't need the caboose man.
Of course. That's what Dan was saying. And Mark was saying, no, you need them, but...
And I want lunch back for you, Tom, because I bet him lunch.
Yeah, thank you. Because so many people...
We just solved the world's biggest question.
Think that cabooses are still around. Joanne, or is it Joni? Joni, what's happening?
Hi. We hired a contractor in April to finish our basement.
I hope you tell me you didn't give him any money up front.
I did.
How much?
We gave him, so he wanted to order all the supplies, and they said that he would have them delivered to our house in 2 weeks.
And I would have said, fine, we'll pay when they're delivered.
Yeah, I would have said that too.
How much did you pay?
$14,700.
Honest to God, up front.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
I know, and he said he could start in a few weeks, and it kept getting pushed back, and finally in the beginning of May, middle of May, he started, and he was just really inconsistent. Like, he'd show up a couple times a week, and he'd tell me he's coming tomorrow, and he'd not show up.
This was from April. What is he doing now?
Nothing. He hasn't shown up in a month. He had his truck break down, and then he was going to come, and then...
he's long spent the money. That's the problem.
I know it's gone. And he said he was going to come. He hurt his thumb hooking up his trailer, and then he couldn't work anymore.
We should get a big van with 4 goons and call it the Kick-Ass Squad and just send them out to contractors that do this to people. I mean, it's so terrible that they don't even care. Mark, this is yet another $14,000.
The hardest part is even if we find these guys, you know what happened? They
spent the money. So is he refusing to come back? What was the last communication you had?
He, on June 28th, he said he was going to have his subcontractor come out, and he had been trying to get him out here twice, and both times he no-called.
What's the name of this contractor, and how did you find him?
We found him on Craigslist, and we got a bunch of references from him. Everything.
Did you check the references?
I did.
It was his uncle?
I don't know.
So how many references did you actually call?
We called 3 people.
And they seemed legit?
And they were current customers. He had finished a bedroom in a basement, and he had drywalled somebody's house that they flipped. And
okay, what's the name of the contractor?
Nat Donnelly.
Nat Donnelly?
Yes.
And what's the name of the company?
It's now called Bumblebee Construction.
Now, what do you mean? What do you mean now?
Well, I don't know. I mean, I can't find that name of that company anywhere else other than on his business card, but it's called Bumblebee Construction.
How much worth of work did you get, do you think?
If I'm being generous, the last text I sent him, I said, I'm sorry about your hand. I don't feel comfortable, with you having a subcontractor come. We just would like our money back so we can hire somebody else. But he hadn't shown up in a month, and he won't respond anymore. He won't respond to my texts or phone calls. It's like he's totally gone.
Oh man, this is just unbelievable. Unbelievable. Yeah. What we can do is kill these people with public scrutiny. We have to stick together and they're just leeches of society. We have to let them know that we heard about them. We're not going to use them. I mean, I would definitely, this is even too much for small claims court. I mean, and you'll probably never get your money, but literally,
sorry.
Where was this guy's address?
He was in, on the website. It's at his house, I think. I don't think he has a storefront.
Do me a favor. Do you have an address and a phone number? Let's get all of this guy's information. Let's see what we can do.
I've already left the guy a message, a nice one.
Okay, good. That's what we're going to start with. Would you mark this as a follow-up, and we'll have her back on, and then we'll go to war with this guy. We got to start putting these people out of business. I mean, God, I'm getting so tired of this. People, do you hear this? Do you hear it every single day? Yet people do it. Spread the word about the show. They will learn and save money. We'll get back to you, Joni, okay? Al Aramis at Pro Auto Care. Now, you want to talk about some specials. This was the new customer special the last time I did it. Are you going to do it for everyone or for new customers?
I'm going to do it for everyone. I'm probably going to do a better job.
Holy crap.
I'm probably going to do a better job because that's just me. I'm back.
Wait a minute. So wait a minute. This is for everyone. The last time I did it was only $14.95 for an oil change and filter with a tire rotation for only $14.95. And this is going to be not just for new customers, for anyone in 2 locations. Oh my God!
And so,
how do you go wrong for that, man? $15, you're done. You can't buy it. You cannot buy the oil. You cannot buy the filter. Okay. So what are you going to do?
Synthetic. I'm going to do those for $59.95, full synthetic.
Synthetic.
Also a great deal, and that has tire rotation, full inspection. Tell them we're not going to steer you wrong. We're going to service you. We'll get you in and out. We'll write you estimates on what you want. We've been doing this 25 years and doing it right, and that's why I've got thousands of customers, and my word is gold with people. That's what I do. So right now, they call the Littleton store, no wait. No wait for all day.
No wait at the Littleton store, and that is at just south of Bowles on Santa Fe near Arapahoe Community College. And listen, they're also on Evans and I-25 if you go just east on Evans, north on Dahlia. Here's what I want to tell you, okay? You have a $14.95 oil change with filter and tire rotations. $14.95. 303 Pro Auto. That's 303 Pro Auto.
This report is brought to you by Lifeline. Some typical slow spots in the drive on the Mile High.
Freeways during the lunch hour. Northbound I-35 slow down. Did you do alignments when you had your store? So
alignments get you other work.
Why don't they do more of alignment, especially because there's no parts in it?
Well, first of all, most shops are only going to have one rack. I don't care if it's a dealership. It's $40,000.
No. Why doesn't it do it for a special to get people in?
He does do specials for alignment.
Oh, I haven't heard one.
Yeah, when it's a busy tire season and you're selling tires, like right now in summer, you don't have to do the freebies on the alignment rack. When your alignment rack's sitting empty is when you do it. Right now, tires come in, they have wear, and then they get them onto the rack. In other words, right now you can fill the rack up all day.
Right, you only do it when you need to.
Yeah, because it is labor intensive.
Go to lifelock.com. Oh, it is.
All right, you ready? Here you go. 10 questions.
Oh, jeez.
Just you. Go ahead. Go. Hurry up. You got a thing counting down.
Improve your home's exterior with new windows, siding, or a new sunroof. And during Champion's Summer of Savings sale, pay no interest or payments until 2019. Every American-made Champion window is installed using expert craftsmen and features their Comfort 365 glass. Champions.
It's up on I-70. You want me to follow you up? You want to drive me back here? You want to park somewhere mid?
It's the only window company that I personally endorse. Right now, get $250 off every Champion window and pay no interest or payment.
Yeah, I did flex. You just realized.
Yeah. Temperatures and high energy bills are right around the corner. Don't miss the Champion Summer of Savings sale going on right now. Schedule today for your free in-home estimate. You can do so by going to getchampion.com.
But it's at 2:30.
I wasn't prepared to be a caregiver to Mom. I had no idea how hard.
Can you do in small claims court, if you have like a $20,000 claim, can you just do for the maximum in small claims court and get rid of the rest? Like just forfeit the...
I didn't do that. I had a couple of them.
Or
that's not my real one.
There's a way to do it.
That's my practice. I'm taking those real.
Tips and tools to
Rockies in 5.
One and care for yourself. Brought to you by AARP and the Ad Council.
You'll be happy to know that Rockies
Autos is totally independent. Now, why do I even mention that? Because they don't have what's called a dealer pressure. They don't have dealer financing. They don't have bank financing. Do you realize that? You know, when cars sit on a lot, every month they get more expensive because they have to pay interest on all those. Well, Rockies owns flat out every car in that lot. The title is right there, so you know they made sure that was a good car to get on that lot. They have great clean cars, and what you can do is get the Carfax on every one free of charge, and the price is marked on every one, so you can pick the price you want, and financing is provided there on the spot from 40 different lenders. You choose one, and it's totally approved before you leave. They also do trades and will give you a trade price. They need cars so badly, if you have good cars, they'll even buy them. So you don't even have to trade it. That's how much they love your trade. So if you want to go to Rockies, you'll find a great selection, you'll find good financing options, and you'll find top dollar trade values. But shop around, who cares? Just put them on the list. You'd be foolish not to, especially with that great selection. 303-426-4646, 63rd and Federal, Monday through Saturday, 9 to 8.
I think it is essential for your security and your family's security that we vet.
It's crazy.
Later today at 1 on Denver's Talk Station.
I knew it was Simonbach. You had to settle over Simon.
Tom Martino here. Welcome.
303-713-TALK, 303-713-8255. Mitch has a caboose comment. Go ahead. What is your comment, Mike, Mitch, on cabooses?
Hi, Tom. Is Mark living in the last century?
Why? Because they're so gone, you mean?
No, because the trains haven't had a caboose in years. There's something called the
end of train device was a Fred, which is...
It has nothing to do with the argument. The argument is why they went away.
No, it isn't.
Yes, Dan is saying they went away because of... They didn't go away because of the union. That's what he's trying to say.
Oh, but you said they're still around, too. I heard you say that.
Yeah, but the reason they mostly went... I said I had coffee in one the other day. Now, get out of here.
Hey, Mitch, are you a train buff?
No, I called you. I'm an aviation geek. I called you last summer.
Okay, cool. Thank you for calling. Anytime. Mike, what's your comment on contractors?
These people that can cough up $14,000 to a contractor must not have any brains at all. More money than brains.
Can you believe that? All that money? I don't understand it.
Yeah, but sometimes they're elderly. Sometimes there's other circumstances.
That lady sounded like she was in her 20s.
Well, I agree with that.
No, you're right.
Hubby must have a good job.
It's scary. It's scary to me, though, that they're willing to trust people they meet on Craigslist. And then they give them $14,700. There are ways to make down payments that are safe. There are ways not to. Some people want a small down payment, but you don't give $14,000. And if somebody says they need materials, then you say, I will pay when they're delivered. It sucks.
Or you use a credit card.
Rick, what's going on with you, Rick?
Well, Tom, I bought a 2002 Volvo V70, and I just bought it on Friday evening.
An 07?
No, 02.
I'm sorry, 02. Okay.
Yeah, and I took it into Firestone, had it checked out, everything was just fine. Monday, I start driving it, alternator goes, battery goes, so I was like, okay, replace that.
Oh, you bought this from a private individual?
Yes, sir.
And you bought it as is?
As is, yes, sir. And all of a sudden now it needs some type of coupling or whatever that thing is for electronics, because I got no turn signals, I got no high beams.
You didn't get it checked out enough. I mean, I don't know what did this place do that you checked it out?
I don't know. I paid them over the $25.99 to get everything checked out.
You should. Those listening, Norris, SOS Inspections, or Auto MDs. These are places that do just diagnostics. But anyway, getting back to you, Rick. Unless this guy,
with the car?
You could be. It depends. What did you pay?
I only paid $150 down. It's for $3,200.
Okay, listen.
$3,000.
Does it pass emissions?
Yes, it passes emissions.
All right, listen, Rick. Here's the deal. That's good news. You only paid $150 down. I would take it. This is what I would do if it was me. I'd take it back and say, keep the $150, because you're not going to get that back. Keep the $150. I don't want this car. And if you try to sue me, more power to you. But I'm not going to do it. This guy's not going to. This guy's not going to go after you. That's what I would. That's the easiest thing to do. And please have a car checked out properly. The deal is, you're lucky. You're lucky. You only gave $150.
He's got a few legal arguments too, as far as safety issues.
He could. You could have some safety, but don't even go there. Listen, I doubt this guy's going to come after you. This contract is probably not written properly, and I wouldn't worry about it. I'm Troubleshooter Tom Martino. Remember, live on Facebook, live on YouTube, also live at referralist.com. I want you to tune into referralist.com and not get ripped off. Please pass that word around. We are not those other lists. Leave all the calls on cabooses, and they didn't know what they were talking about.
That caboose kind of conductor is really took over the last hour.
The only reason I said they were still around, I said I ate lunch in one time and had coffee in one. I was talking about a real caboose.
That was your argument to me, eh? They're still around.
It was my argument. They are. So how many lunches are we up now, Dan? Bullshit.
I think we just evened it out for you. He still owes me 3, but you.
Why? I had like 32 lunches.
No, you're even. I want them.
Okay. This one's good. Honest to God, mobile. 100%. This is the only one that counts. Mobile trivia. You want to go first?
Why did they get rid of cabooses for real? Because there was no need for them.
So the conductor behind there did switching, did braking, did paperwork, did all that.
But the reason, he's saying the reason they didn't get rid of them
for
50 years.
I think it sounds right.
Was not true.
It's not true.
Well, I don't know. You're telling me a big company is going to keep something like that for 50 years?
The trade unions would shut them down.
I'm telling you, in broadcast, they kept shit around.